Masters in Information and Communication Sciences at Ball State University. He was given a graduate assistantship which covers his tuition and also provide him with stipends. So it is not just about the GPA, it is about what you do with what you have. The GPA is very helpful, but there is more to a good application. Now, here is the truth. If you have a low GPA, you can still get good funding to come to the US, but you have to do the right things. You have to put in a lot of work. It's about crafting a statement of purpose that tells your story. It's about building a resume that aligns your academic and career experiences. It's about getting strong recommendation letters. It's about doing an evaluation depending on your situation. It's about taking the GRE depending on your program of interest and your GPA. It's about taking the SAT if you want a full undergraduate scholarship. It's about applying to the right schools based on your background and academic credentials. In my one-on-one visa interview coaching program, I have come across students who told me they applied to schools I recommended and they got full funding to start this fall 2025. One of those students even told me that she went for the visa interview a year ago and she was denied because she didn't have any funding. And so she went through the list I suggested and she applied to two of them or so. And now she has full funding to come to the US. The study abroad process is also about doing the right research, even if it means sleepless nights. It's about starting the process early and submitting your best work. I have a lot of great videos to help you get started on this channel. I like to push students to give their best because funding is very competitive. Any scholarship that is automatic is a small amount. Good funding requires you to submit an application that stands out. For your application to stand out, you have to treat the whole process seriously. I am not here to lie to you or sugarcoat anything so that you will like me. I am here to tell you what works and how to avoid wasting money, energy, and time. I don't want anyone coming to the US and suffering, especially if your family isn't rich. That is why I try to provide you with all the right information to help you get good funding and help you pass your visa interview. Everything in life requires work. The more work you put into the process, the greater the reward on your investment. There are no shortcuts in life, just smart, consistent effort. So if you are new here, consider subscribing to the channel so that you get all the reliable information that can make your dreams come true. Also, check out my ShyPod channel, which is my podcast where I interview international students about their journeys from admissions to life abroad. I do my best to ask them the questions you want answers to. I've also created WhatsApp groups where you can connect with other students who are also on their study abroad journey. Many of them are happy to share insights and answer questions based on their experience. I also have a Telegram group where I give students the opportunity for free mock interviews on my YouTube channel. You just have to be in the Telegram group, and when I request for details, you just have to send the details to me or to my assistant. All right, now it's time for us to kick off today's live session. Drop your questions in the chat. Tell me where you're watching this from and share the live session with a friend who needs this. I will also appreciate it if you give this live session a like. It helps the channel a lot. Hi guys, welcome to today's live session. I'm very excited that you are here. So today we have an exciting live session because this is the first time we are doing this on the Shy Pod. On the Shy Guys, we do a lot of live sessions every week, but this one is different and it's the first of its kind. And you get to tell some, your friends one day that you were part of the first live session on the Shy Pod. So yeah, I'm very excited that you are here. Kindly let me know where you're watching this from. This is very important to me. It kind of gives me an idea of, some of the things that I need to do, because knowing where you are from means that I need to sometimes tailor my videos to, where you are and stuff like that. Today we have an important conversation. We are going to dive into some of the things that we wish we knew before coming to the US. Some of you, know that I've been in the US for 9 years, and so I have seen a lot, I've experienced a lot, but I can tell you that I'm also going to learn a lot from this conversation. These are fresh blood in a way, right? Compared to me, right? They are more like fresh blood, so they have a lot of fresh ideas. They can tell us a lot of things. They can give us, personal experiences. They are honest advice, and more or less useful tips. So if you are now coming to the US, this video is going to be very helpful. If you have plans of coming to the US one day, this video will be helpful as well. And if you're already in the US, yes, there is a good chance you don't know so many of these things. And so yeah, it's good to have you here. And please, if you have any question, leave it in the chat. We are going to do our best to answer all your questions. For now, we are going to focus on different topics. So I'll be asking these questions, and then my guests are going to tell us everything that we need to know. And I have 6 people, which is crazy, like a lot of people. So if you put everything that they know together, it means that you have, more like a book about everything that an international student coming to the US should know. So this is very exciting. So please leave your questions. We'll take our time, and then we are going to answer them. I am thinking this might be very long because of the number of guests and because of the different topics that we are going to cover. So, if it's getting too long, right, for you, you can leave and then watch it another time. Okay. And once this is done, I might go into the video and then put more like video chapters so that you can find specific topics, right? Answers to specific topics so that, yeah, but that would take probably a day or so for me to do that. So, the other thing is, if you're not familiar with me, I have the Shy Guys as well. So if you're on the journey, then the Shy Guys channel is probably for you, because that one is me giving my opinion on certain things and, going into, the application materials in more detail, you know. But then the Shy Pod here is more like talking to people who have gone through the process. So they are giving their experiences and they share some of the things that they did for them to get the funding, and some of the things that they are doing. Some of them I've interviewed most of them, and these guys, they are here because of a reason. They are smart guys, and so the Shy Pod is for you to learn from other people. The Shy Guys is for you to learn from me. And if you are really serious about the study abroad journey, you need both. You want to complement the two. So because I can tell you something and I may be wrong, right? So when you hear from another person, then yeah, that will complete everything for you. So if you really want to come to the US, or if you really want to thrive as an international student to the US, then you want to complement the two channels. So another thing is that this morning, uh, so I woke up and then I got a text from John. Some of you are familiar with John. John is actually somebody I interviewed on the ShyPod. He's the first person on this ShyPod channel, even though I interviewed other people on the other channel. But on the ShyPod, he's the first person, so he's episode 1. So, and some of you are very familiar with him. I used to do live session with him on the Shy Guys channel. So this morning he lost his mom, and less than a month ago, actually, he lost his dad. So it's like within a month he's lost his parents. That's, yeah. So uh it is one of those things. And John was even going to be part of this, but then something came up, and that's why he wasn't able to join. So you can tell that he's somebody who shares freely, and yeah. So it's one of those things. I think we should hold a 1 minute silence, for his parents. Okay, so yeah, just 1 minute. Okay. All right. Um so let's get into today's live session. I am going to let my guests introduce themselves. I have 6 international students who are here because they are smart, and you know, they are very intelligent. So that is why they are here, because they have a lot that they can share with you. That's why I have them here. So you guys, I am not really going to mention names. You guys can just okay, let me just mention the name. So Regina, who is Regina?
Thank you very much, Shai. Okay, so like you said, we are smart and intelligent. So Regina is a smart lady, an intelligent one as well.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
from Ghana and currently pursuing my master's in higher education and student affairs administration at George Mason University, Virginia.
Mm. Good to have you here,
I think
Regina.
that's enough, right?
Yeah, that's enough.
Thank you.
Rhoda, who is Rhoda?
I'm here. Hi, my name is Rebecca, and I'm also international student from Ghana. I'm also pursuing the Student Affairs Administration program at Seattle University. So, yeah, thank you.
Okay, Rhoda, good to have you here. We have Ernest here. Who is Ernest?
Yeah, I'm Ernest. So my name is Ernest Idinkrajomeku, and I'm pursuing Masters in Public Administration at Georgia Southern University. Um, I'm currently in my second year, and it's a pleasure to be on this platform again. So thank you, Shai, for the opportunity.
Thank you for being here. Eunice, who is Eunice?
Hello, my name is Eunice, and I'm in a community college pursuing medical administrative assistant.
Mm,
Nice to meet you all.
nice to meet you. Then Benjamin,
Hello,
Benjamin, are you there?
everyone. Yep.
Your camera, yeah, you should change the orientation. So
Can you
uh,
hear me?
yeah, we can hear you, but then we don't see your face well. It's like the position of your. Okay, now I think you can fix it. So who is Ben, and then you can fix that later on.
Okay. So my name is Ben Dadze. I completed my master's in Clemson 2 months ago. I did a master's in higher education administration and student affairs, and I currently work at the University of Iowa full time as a hall coordinator.
Nice one, the money man. Okay, then okay, Joseph is yeah, Joseph. Who is Joseph?
I'm Joseph. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Joseph.
Okay. So, Joseph Boache, currently studying Masters of Public Administration at the Eastern State University.
Okay, nice one, nice one. Okay, so now I think I've spent a lot of time on the introduction and all those things. So now let's get into the main things. The reason why these things are here. So the first thing is, let's assume that okay, this is actually a question from Emmanuel. He said, I've just received my visa approval. What immediate steps should I take? So more or less, what do I need to do before boarding my flight to the US? What are some of the things that I need to do? So anyone can answer, and then anyone can add to it. Who wants to uh who
Okay,
want,
let me go.
okay, Regina.
Okay, first of all, I want to congratulate you, Emmanuel. Congratulations on this great milestone. Okay, so one thing that I recommend is that you start searching for accommodation because that's the most important thing. And I'm sure when you get to the airport, they'll also ask you for your proof of residency as well. I was being asked, I don't know about others. And also, you should try to reach out to people there to help you in search of accommodation because for these few weeks, a lot of people have come to me complaining of how they've been scammed on Facebook Marketplace. And so it's good you reach out to someone there to help you search for the accommodation. And also, you have to prep for your travel documents as well as your tickets, your flight ticket, because it's very important. You have to book for your ticket before you can be able to come here. That's what I would say. So others can add up.
Hmm. Who wants to add something to it?
So I'll add something up.
Okay.
So for me, once my visa was approved, I made sure to like get all my documents like together. I just made photocopies like just in case of anything. Um, my 20 what's the name? The service fee receipt. Um, I just try to get like my documents intact so I don't lose anything because it was my first time traveling, and so I just wanted to make sure that everything was intact. I don't miss anything. Um, you'd also look at some of the clothes that you take, and so depending on the states that you're going to, you'd consider that, and I mean make provisions for that. If you are going to a cold state, a very cold state, you know that you have to take very um, I mean, thick jackets or warm clothes. Um, I mean, it fairly gets cold at different times of the year. So when I was coming to Georgia, and people told me it doesn't snow there, but I came and for the first time in 6 years, it snowed here, and so you just have to like prep for that just in case. You can also look at maybe taking some of your traditional clothes that would help just in case there is some cultural events in school. Um, yeah, basically that. I I also my dad also packed some medication for me. I don't know if that is a good suggestion, but some paracetamol and some facilitate and some others that would help you just in case. Because for me in the plane, I was given some foods that I didn't like, and I mean I was hungry and I had to try it, but it didn't. My stomach didn't like them, and so the medication came in handy with me for me. So I think you should. These are some of the perspective things that you should consider when you're traveling. As Regina said, accommodation is very crucial. For me, for my school, once I had my visa, I reached out to the international office, and so like they connected me with some Ghanaians over here. Um, they assisted me like in joining the general Georgia Southern group for international students, and so from there I was able to get like the links to all the um, accommodations on campus, and so like I was able to reach them directly instead of a third party, and so if possible you can reach out to the international office. They would assist you in like reaching out to the various hostels or apartments on campus like directly instead of maybe a third party. If you get a trusted Ghanaian to over here, why not? You can because if you don't make provisions for accommodation and you get here, where are you gonna sleep when you come back from the plane? When you get out from the plane, where are you going to? So I think it's actually a crucial um,
Mm.
step that you have to look at. Yeah.
The medicines that you brought, apart from the ones that you took at the airport, did you take them again or you just tried?
Um. I yeah. When I got here, some was some
Mm.
came in very handy. The paracetamol. There were times where like my head used to ache from all the academic and personal and all of that, and so I mean that was my
Mm.
go-to place because I didn't want to go spend money like going to a pharmacy or to go get. So it actually helped, and so some too I haven't even opened them since I came, and some of them to have expired, so I have to actually go recheck them and see which ones are good. But yeah, it's would come in handy because you'd come in the first week, some foods you don't know the food, you are not really familiar with the food, and so it might not go well with you, and so just in case of anything. And for me, I thought it would be I don't know, it would be illegal because it was a lot of medicine. My dad actually packed a
Mm.
lot of medicine for me, like just because and I hid it at the back of my. I mean, if they want to see,
Of
they'll see
course.
it, but I hid it under my exactly my luggage because I felt like maybe this
Too
is
much.
this is too much drag. Like this is too much that I'm taking, and so. But yeah, it actually helped me.
Mm. Yeah. So since you guys haven't said anything, I haven't added to some of these things. Let me get into the specifics, right? Ernest, you mentioned clothes, right? You brought some clothes and all of that. If I am coming and then let's say I have some clothes, obviously everyone has clothes before they even make the journey, right? So do I really have to buy new clothes or I can just bring the ones I have and when I arrive, buy new clothes? What will you suggest? It can be any of you can answer.
So
Okay, I
when it
think
comes
I'll
to
try.
clothes,
Yeah, let Joseph go and then Ben, you can follow up.
all right. So when it comes to clothes, this is what I'm going to say. You can select some of your used clothes back home. You can select the best ones out of them, out of the ones that you think is not really good. You can select those one out and then bring them. And then when you come, I'll kindly advise you to get like the clothes for winter. Sorry, the cold warming clothes like jacket and other
Mm,
stuff, because this is a time that when you reach the US, this is a time that is very like cheap. When you go
mm.
to Ross or any other shop that like clothes, you're going to get those
Yeah, your network is not
um,
good. It's Joseph, your network is not that good for some
okay,
reasons.
okay, then I'll reposition myself and then
Okay.
come back again.
Yeah. All right, Ben, you wanna say something?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ernest made mention of the fact that you need to bring some African wear when there is a cultural display in your institution, you get to wear them. Yeah, that is very true. And actually, when you do wear those African wear, you get a lot of compliments. Most people are complimenting you. I am going to share based on my experiences. When I was coming to the US, I brought in a lot of African wear. So then I sold like new African wear. And then at this point, those African wear shirts are not really in great shape. They look very small on me at this point. So even if you are going to like sew those African wear, make sure we do have what we call allowance. So make sure they do have allowance. So then at any point where you start getting good food to eat and you start having your peace of mind and your body is coming, you can find a tailor or a seamstress, or if you can do it yourself, that is fine. You can just like release those and then it will look great back. Because for my African workers, I'm thinking about shipping all of them back to Ghana because they are looking very small on me currently. Yeah, even though I'm still slim, so yeah.
Yeah, for you, Ben, you came and they were giving you housing for free, food for free. So you were eating plenty food. So then, yeah, your case might not be the same as everyone's case because yes, you had a lot of food. Some of us we are hustlers, so it's not the same thing.
No, but then I feel if you come to the US, we look at all those people. I look at all my friends who have come to the US and they don't look
Mm,
the same like they were when they were in Ghana. So
mm,
it depends. You may be
yeah.
still struggling, but once you are here, there's a lot of peace of mind here. You may be struggling, but then you get to eat good food and whatever
Mm,
be the case, you may gain weight at a point, whatever be the case.
mm. Anyone wants to add to the clothing
Yeah.
thing? Okay.
Uh, I would like to add a little bit.
Mm,
So for me, I knew I was coming to do public administration, and I knew for like that program. I mean, that's for me, like for my personal view. I knew for that program, um, it would involve a lot of like um, being more official and formal, and so I actually took a lot of like long sleeve t-shirts and like black trousers and all of that. So I mean, when I go to class or when I'm going to class, I seem very presentable. When I'm going to my um, graduate assistant work, I dress well and not dress like anyone because I mean, you're an international student. You want to make yourself presentable. You never know where an opportunity might come from, and so I think you should. Maybe many people wouldn't look at that, but I feel it's important as a young professional growing. It's important to dress well because you dress how you want to be addressed, and so um,
mm,
that's one thing that you should also look out for, and just make sure you don't overpack because certain airlines have policies that you don't have to cross, like in terms of the weight of your baggage, unless you have extra money and you want to pay for extra space or extra luggage. And so I think these are some of the things that you should look out for.
yeah. Anyone to add to that?
Yeah, a few things to add up.
Okay.
Okay, so I will say that as for the clothes, you can bring them, but then you have to limit the number of clothes that you bring. Because, for instance, we ladies, like, we when it comes to dressing, like we make a lot of decisions, like you sorting out your stuff, bringing out the best. We don't have the best. All our clothes are the best. So we turn out bringing more clothes than food. And over here too, like some of us, we are very picky. We don't like their kind of food. We want to always eat our African food. You have to bring more food than clothes because for clothes, they are very cheap here. You can get as many as you want at a lower price rate. But then with food, you have to be considerate and maybe bring more African style food than the clothes. You bring maybe a few best that you have and get more here when you arrive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you've brought up the issue of food. If okay, do we have anyone who wants to talk about clothes, or we should go into food? Because everyone wants to hear about food, especially the ladies. They want to. The thing is that guys like food more than ladies, but ladies are more interested in the kind of food, like bringing food and all of that, which is more like an irony, right? But so let's get into food. What should I bring? Spices, salt, what kind of sugar, Milo? I know Ben said he brought a lot of Milo. He likes Milo. So what should I bring? Like if I'm coming, what kind of food should I bring?
Okay, so when you are coming, you bring what you like because you cannot bring everything from Ghana. You have to bring what you like. Like if you are a kind of person who doesn't like swallow like heavy meals, you can just bring this beverage stuff. And also we have African shops here. And for me, I don't know, but in this neighborhood, the African markets here, when you go there, their spices are very cheap, very cheap. But other places too, they are expensive. So but when I was coming, I brought a lot of stuff. It's been almost a year and I still have enough spices. Yeah. So you can bring spices, but then one thing that I don't know for others, but one thing I wish I had brought enough was meat, like this smoked fish. And yeah, Kivo Gary. Because when I was coming, I brought Kivo Gary, but then it got finished and I went to buy some, but it seemed the taste was different. I don't know whether because it has been kept at the shelf for a long period of time or not, but I wish I had brought more. And also sausage, like hot dog. When I was coming, I wanted to bring some. My dad was like, "You're a villager. There's sausage there." Like, you know. But upon getting here, I realized that the kind of sausages that they eat here is different from that of what we eat back home. And
Mm.
it's been a year now, and I've never eaten sausage. Meanwhile, sausage was my best, my favorite
Wow.
protein back in Ghana. Yeah, but I just don't like it. I bought it, I tried it, and I didn't like the taste. So if you are picky like myself, whatever you like best back home, you should bring it because maybe you may not get the exact thing you like here. So you should prepare for all that.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was coming, I didn't really care about food that much. So I brought Gary, but the Gary I ate it only twice and that was it. I never ate Gary again. And up to now, I'm not eating Gary. I don't know if
Where's the Gary? Shai, where's the
I
Gary?
don't even know. I don't even know. So I don't know, I lost interest in it. Not like I was enjoying it, but maybe I ate too much Gary when I was in Ghana. So when I got here, like maybe the Gary was too much in my stomach, was still in my stomach, right? So I
Yeah,
lost
yeah.
interest for Gary. So I stopped eating Gary. So yeah, it depends on you. And I am somebody who actually can eat anything. I am comfortable eating burritos and all, you know,
Mm.
everything that is here. I am okay. I'm not picky when it comes to food. So you have to know yourself, right? You have to know what you can eat, what you cannot eat. If and maybe when you move into a new environment, you wanna adapt to what is there, right? And get used to what is there. Some people are not able to do that, but I think I'm very good with that. And I can also cook, right? So but I don't cook a lot. I rarely cook these days, but I think knowing how to cook also helps a lot so that you can get these things, and then cook on your own. So yeah. Uh does anyone have anything to add to everything
Yeah.
so far?
So just like I'm just bouncing off from what Regina said. Just bring something that would make you like feel at home, like something that you like. I remember when I was coming, my my parents were packing my stuff for me, like gari and some, some fish and some other things. I was like, why are you taking all these? Like, I don't
Yeah.
need them. I
Yeah.
just, and
Yeah.
my dad was like, I should keep quiet. Then I should bring the things. I'll know why I'll need them. So I eventually like took the stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like they packed a lot of food stuff for me, and
Yeah.
when you come in the first week, like you said, some people find it hard to adapt, and so
Yeah.
you might not really find your way around, and like it's the food that you brought. That's what you be surviving on, probably for like the first few weeks, and so it's
Mm.
crucial. Like, I mean, no, you can't bring everything. I mean, but
Yeah.
something that would sustain you for a certain amount of time. Then with time, when you can find your way, you can go out and maybe buy or start cooking.
Yeah.
So it's yeah.
Yeah. And when it comes to food, what I hear from a lot of people, especially ladies, is that the baggage allowance, the way it works is most of the time for most of the airlines, they give you two bags, 23 kg. So the 223 kgs, some people what they prefer to do is they put food in one of them, and then they put their clothes and other things in the other bag, and then you also have the carry-on bag, and then you have the personal item bag. So it's more like four bags, depending on the airline. The four bags, the personal item bag is just like a school bag, and then the carry-on is, a carry-on small, small. It should be like 12 kg, 12 kilograms. And if you wanna weigh these things before you get to the airport, because if you get to the airport and then your items are overweight, you would have to pay extra, or you would have to remove certain things. When you are coming the first time, you are going to get people in the schools who will tell you, oh, bring me this, bring me that. There is really nothing wrong with that. Just that the people here, they have to be reasonable and not give you too many things, because they have to understand that you're also coming, you need things for yourself. Some people are selfish, but you have to be able to say no. Personally, when I was at Ohio University, when students were coming, I was not interested in anybody bringing me anything. I don't care. Like I said, I am okay with whatever is there. So I was not telling students to bring me stuff. But some students, they come with so many things, and some of them are not even theirs, which is not nice, right? It's not a nice thing. So if you are in the US, try and then don't do that. And if you are coming, you should learn to say no. If you're coming to the US and you don't know how to say no, people will take advantage of you, right? They will force you to do certain things. So that is the thing. Do you guys think it is a good idea to pack only food in one bag and then clothes in the other? You don't want to mix them up, because the other thing is, if you have food and clothes in one bag, yeah, the smell will get into the clothes and mess up your clothes. You might never be able to wear them again, right? But is it a good idea? Do you have anything else to say about this? Someone like Adoma, I feel like you wanna say something. Do you wanna say something? Oh,
Can
okay,
you hear me? Okay.
okay,
Oh,
Rhoda,
okay.
Rhoda, go ahead.
So
Okay, Adoma, go, and then Rhoda will follow.
So, like you said, we have two big suitcases. That's about 23 kg or 24 kg. So, the two big suitcases, one is for food and then one is for clothes. Preferably, you can do it anyhow you like, but I mean, that's the only right way anyway. But the other one for food, put the food you like. But the ones that you need sometimes when you are in need is shito, and then you want to bring shito that is already made, and then shito that is the spice, the fish powder, the shrimp powder and everything. You want to have the shito ingredients to alongside the main shito that is already cooked, so that just in case the cooked shito gets finished, you can make it yourself. So and also the girls, your hand luggage, you should put your weights in your hand luggage. Put all your wigs in your hand luggage, your wig tools, not the cream. As for the lotions and not the other things, you can put it in the main suitcase, because you can't put it in your hand luggage. And then things that will come in handy when you're in the flight. Aside that, the rest of them are optional.
Mhm. Yeah. So you mentioned something that you cannot put low. So some of the creams, if I remember correctly, I haven't been on the plane for a while, but if I remember correctly, I think if the liquid item is more than 100 ml, you cannot put it in your handbag, right? So you would have to put it in your checked bag, which is the two big bags. Is that the case? Is If anyone has something to like, if anyone can explain this, I don't remember some of these things very well. if no one is able to explain it, then you can always Google some of these things to, be clear about it. Rhoda, you've been traveling recently, so Rhoda, tell me more.
Thank you. I think when you're coming, the packaging is very necessary and it's very important because for someone like me, I lost my luggage for about 3 weeks before I got it. So imagine if I missed my food items with my clothes. How, like, by the time I'll receive
Yeah,
it, a lot would have gone bad and then the things wouldn't smell as the same. So it's more important to separate your food items from your clothing and other stuff. And your hand luggage too. You have to put in your document, your printed document, your I-20, I mean, everything in your hand document so that it will be easy for you to access it. So
yeah,
yeah, and then most times to you have to get like at least some personal items that you'll be using in your hand luggage as well. So you have to check for the airline and know the quantity of the amount which is needed so that your items will not be thrown away because
yeah.
you might lose your luggage like at any time so that you'll be able to access like have access to all these things small which is so you have to at least pack a little of it, maybe small toothpaste, your brush, your cream, something, a little of it into your handbag as well so that you wouldn't know when you'll be able to get your luggage or not. So in case you don't get it, at least you have something to use around. Yeah, thank you.
Mm. Yeah, with the mixing clothes and the food, I remember very well 2017, somebody's experience. So the person makes the two up, and his bag also delayed. I think it delayed for like 2 weeks or so. By the time he got it, so he put the shito, he had shito and he wrapped it very well. He was thinking that, oh, everything is well wrapped, but then by the time he got to the bag, everything, the shito, the thing what people have to understand is that these bags are not carried the way we carry them. No, they throw them into the plane. They throw them anyhow. So you have to understand that because of the way what they do and all of that, by the time you get your bag, yeah, it could be a mess, right? So you have to pay attention to that. And also, I remember one of my travels when I got to the US. They had opened my bags and everything was torn, like it was just difficult to fix everything because they were looking for something. So if you don't, there are certain things, if you don't declare, I think that you have those things, you get to when the bags are going through security, they are going to scan it. And when they scan it and then they suspect something fishy or something that is prohibited, then they are going to open the bag themselves. Sometimes they open it nicely, sometimes they don't open it nicely. Some people have padlocks on their bags, which is something which you should do, right? Because at the airport, if you don't get to your bag early and somebody picks it, the person can open your bag, right? So people put padlocks. But the problem with that is that if there is something in your bag and somebody opens and they want to find out what is in the bag, they are going to tear everything and open it by force, like, so it can, yeah. So you want to be careful about some of these things as well. Just read, go on the on go on Google and then look at some of the things that are allowed, some of the things that are not allowed. Some of the food stuff, sometimes, yeah, they will ask you, I think they will make you indicate what you have in the bag so that they will try to see if it's the same as what the results they are getting on their screen, right? Then they can allow it to go. There are certain things they don't allow, like seat. I think if I remember correctly, I think they don't allow seats, certain seats, because they don't want to mix those, like orange in Ghana is not the same as orange in the US, so they don't want to mix those things up, right? So those are some of the things that you should keep in mind. And also, Rhoda, you mentioned your documents. Every student must make sure their documents is in their personal bag, which the personal bag here is like your school bag. So all you have to make sure your I-20, your passport, all those things are in that bag, because at the port of entry they are going to look at these documents, right? Most of the time it's just I-20 and passport. Then remember the questions, the answers you give to the visa officer during your visa interview, because that can come up. They can ask you the same question. If you say something contrary to what you said to the visa officer, that can actually lead to a deportation in a way. So you want to remember, especially who is sponsoring you. If you don't have funding, you tell the visa officer one person, and then they have the records there, right? So if they at the port of entry they ask you and you say something else, that can also go against you. So you want to make sure all these things are okay, are taken care of. Um, what about laptop? If I have an old laptop, let's say I bought it 2 years ago, do I need to buy a new laptop, or I can just, come with, or I can just leave it behind, come and then buy a new one? What do you recommend? I can give my opinion on that, but it might not be. Who wants to say something about that? Should
Okay,
I
let
buy a
me
new
go.
laptop? Yeah.
As long as it's in a good shape, you don't need to get a new one. You can bring an old laptop. Yeah, so there's no need or there's no rush or pressure that I'm traveling, so I have to get a new phone, a new laptop. Once it's working perfectly, there's nothing wrong with it. You can go ahead and bring it, unless you have your reasons why you want to get a new one.
What if I don't have any laptop? Should I buy it before I come, or I should come and buy it here?
Yeah, that's one question someone asked me just yesterday.
Mm,
I was like, okay, I suggest you get it in Ghana,
okay.
unless you
Why?
have the money with you that you can purchase as soon as you get here.
So if I have, let's say, 3,000 cities that I want to buy a laptop with, should I bring the 3,000? Should I convert the 3,000 to dollars, come to the US to buy it here, or buy the $3,000 laptop in Ghana and bring it to the US? What would you say?
Personally, I would say you should buy it in Ghana because I'm a
Why?
victim of that. When I was
Okay.
coming, I wanted to get a phone. And my elder brother was like, why don't you buy it here before you
Mm,
go? I was like, no, I want to get a phone here because someone told me that phones here do not function same as phones back home. Yeah,
mm,
so I just brought the money and 1 week passed, then I realized I used the money for other things. So I couldn't buy the phone.
okay.
Yeah, something you should get it there because when you come here, you might as well use the money for something else. When you
But
bound, like by the time you realize you've spent the money you were supposed to use for the laptop. So
what about the fact
personally, that's
that
what I would suggest.
what about the fact that you might not get a laptop or a phone that is of high quality compared to, because I remember back in the day, right? There were people who came to the US and they had to change their phones because the SIM card here didn't fit or didn't work well with their phones. So those people, they brought, I don't know, Techno and all those phones. So when they came, they had to change their phone. They had to change their phones. They had to get like $100 phones and stuff like that. So I don't know. So for me, I feel like it depends, right? If you have a new old phone, then you probably, because you need a phone at the airport as well. So if it's the only phone you have, then you probably still have to bring it, right? And then if you get later on, if you get a new one, you can send it back or something. But yeah, you still need a phone at the airport, right? Because you want to communicate and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's why I said that it depends on the shape, like the
Mm,
states of
yeah,
whatever device you are using. Because
yeah.
me, I just wanted to change it because I'm traveling and I don't want to use that old phone.
Mm,
But then I was able to use it for like 6 months before getting a new one. So
yeah. Does anyone have anything to say about packing? Is there something that you wish you packed, you added to the things you packed, that you would like to pass it on to, like pass that information on to those who are coming? Is there something that you really, really wish you had brought?
yeah, the Wema.
Okay. You're eating too much. Huh? You're eating too much.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Wema,
Yeah.
Aboniki.
Which one is Aboniki? I've
Yeah.
heard of it, but I don't know what that is.
It's an ointment, like
Oh,
a
yeah.
minty ointment, yeah, for pain relief and other stuff. Then I brought
Mm,
some medications, but then they were not enough. So I needed to
mm,
get more. I just walked to the pharmacy and I got to know that I needed some prescriptions before I'll be able to purchase those stuff. So
yeah,
you
that
have
is
to
a thing.
bring,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
enough of those stuffs. And also food like smoked fish. Actually, my
Mm.
mom bought those stuff, like we wrapped it. And I was like, no, we need money like
Uh,
I don't like it. We pay way. I don't like so
yeah,
and when I got here, like me home, I regretted a lot.
yeah,
And
mm. Yeah. For me, the medicine thing, honestly, when I came, I brought some medicine, but I didn't use any of them. And right now, if I need like something for headache or something, I can always. Those things are not expensive. Tylenol or ibuprofen, right? Those are not really expensive. Maybe $2 or something. So they are not really expensive for you to go crazy if you don't bring them. But if you want to bring them too, then that's fine. Maybe I used to the Ghana one, right? There's something I think I brought, Martin's liver salts back then, but I don't know how many times I use it. But I probably use it. I think Martin's liver salts. So I don't know if they still have Martin's liver salts in Ghana,
Yeah.
but yeah, I brought that one. Yeah. So is there anything else
And
that
I think
anyone?
I can add something.
Okay.
Okay. And when it comes to medicine and parking in general, I know for some people they do experience motion sickness, they do experience headaches when they do travel for a long distance. So then know that you are, yourself, you know how you feel when you travel. So if you are traveling on such a long journey, I would advise, for me, whenever I'm like flying, I make sure I have paracetamol with me or a medicine for motion sickness. I have it in my carry-on bag. So at any point in time when I'm feeling a little bit unwell, then I
Uh,
just take that medicine, and it gets better. And then, as you said, paracetamol and the other those other drugs are very cheap here, but you may still want to like have something on you medicine wise, so you can have that with you. And when it comes to parking, bringing a laptop or buying technology styles from Ghana before coming to the US, I would say it always depends. If Especially for those who get to find themselves in my program and who get to work in housing, most institutions are going to provide you a laptop. And when I was in Ghana, I was using an old Toshiba laptop. I should have probably thrown it away in a dustbin before I came to the US, but I decided to carry it with me. I came to the US and it was slow as a turtle. So slow. Thankfully, when I arrived, the first day of starting work, my department gave me a laptop. So I decided to use the departmental laptop for classwork, personal projects, and everything. And then within some few months, I decided to send that Toshiba turtle back to Ghana for someone to use. But then when it comes to like buying a laptop, I would say that you are going to need a laptop when you come to the US. So you can wait, and then it frees you some space as well. You can come to the US and you can do your research, probably look at Walmart what they do have and put a laptop in a cart or something like that. So when you come to the US finally, you get to buy the laptop, you already have your address, it gets delivered very quickly, and it frees up some space for you to put other things in your luggage as well. So those who are coming into my program, just communicate with your department. There may be something that they are going to offer to you that may not be
yeah.
in your assistantship letter. So just communicate. They may give you a laptop for you to use, and you wouldn't even need to bring a laptop. You know, yeah.
Yeah, and about the laptop thing, to add to that, a lot of schools they have like I don't know if it's every school, but for most schools, their libraries have laptops that you can actually borrow for maybe 4 hours or so. So the way it works is that you present your student ID. Everybody needs a student ID. We'll probably talk about those things, very soon. So once you give them the student ID, they will give you the laptop to use for like 4 hours to do whatever you want to do. Then you have to return it, and then you take your ID back. The libraries also have computers that you can use anytime. The computers, there is internet, like everywhere. So with the computers, you just have to log in with your students, login information, right? Once you log in, you can use the computers. Some of them, they tend to have the software that you may need. So like if you are, let's say, academic students, they have R, Python, and stuff like that. You can actually use. So when you're coming, you don't have any um if you don't have any laptop or something, you can still come. That's why I said I will probably come and then get these things later on. Maybe when I get my credit card, and I'll use a credit card to buy the laptop or something. That would be my recommendation, because the departments also may have their own libraries. So if they have their own libraries, or the faculty may have, or the school may have their own libraries, and if they have their own libraries, there might be computers there that you can use as well to do your homework and all that. So there is no pressure for you to have a laptop before you come. The other thing is also books. When I was coming, one of the things that I'm happy I didn't do was bringing books, because some students, they want to show that they are too serious. They want to bring books, but no, maybe it depends on your program. If your program, but I mean, the books, they are heavy, like they are going to take up a lot of space. So I didn't bring any books, because yeah, I had a PDF. I have two pen drives. I brought one, I left one to the departments, the TAs there. So the one I brought were some books and stuff like that online, like soft copies. just so that. But I came and I didn't even need all of those things, because here the libraries are such that they help you get access to a lot of materials, especially if you want to do research. You get access to a lot of literature and all of that for free, right? Once you log in into your student account. Sometimes if you need a book, and then let's say a textbook, and then you don't have the money to buy, you can actually borrow from the school, from the library. If the library doesn't have it, you can place a request. The library can request it for you, and then you use it. I think you have up to a month or so, and then you have to return it. Three students can go for one. If there are three students, one can go for it before they drop it. The other person can also pick it up, and that kind of thing. So it depends. Every school is different, but yeah, these are some information that you want to keep in mind when it comes to whether you should bring books or not. All right. Um, should we move on to inside a plane, right? Ernest, I remember Ernest talking about food, and he didn't like the food and all of that. So the food thing, yeah, you are not likely to like the food. And it's not just the food itself which is a problem, but also the fact that the altitude actually affects your taste buds. So in a way, the food will not be the same will not taste the same if you were giving the food on the ground, right, on the ground. So that is something to keep in mind. Once the altitude changes everything. So the food, first of all, it depends on the flight. They are going to serve you food that is from that country. So if let's say you're going to, if you let's say when I was coming the first time, I used Air Maroc. So they took us to Morocco, and they gave us some stuff, and we're like, what is this? Like, so depend on the country. If you're going to France, they'll give you something that is French related. So that is something to keep in mind. And the thing is, they will not allow you to board a flight with food or anything like that, right? So whatever is there, you have to manage it like that. um there are also drinks. If you want to, be on drinks, that's also fine. But the problem is that these flights are long flights. Depend on you might depend on your final destination. You might have to go through other airports, right? And so if the final destination is not the airport at your final destination is not an international airport, then it means you have to go through other airports, and that means that there will be some stops, and also the flight might be long, right? So you may have to, manage what you get at the airport before you board your flights. The airports have like restaurants, shopping, stores and stuff like that. You can shop, and I don't recommend buying anything, any item there, because or clothes, because all those things, they are very expensive. They have, because of the location, so those things are more expensive, right? So you want to stay away from those things, but then you can buy food. I have bought food several times at the airport, so yeah, food is okay. You can buy food if you are so hungry. If you want to avoid the food on the plane, you can buy those foods. They are also slightly expensive, but in a way they are worth it, right? So you probably want to buy those ones, eat before your flight, so that you can avoid the ones on the flight. But me, I'll eat the ones in the flight as well, because the ones in the flight is maybe 8 hours or 6 hours. Just think about it, like that's long. I cannot be hungry for 6 hours. I need to eat something, right? So those are some of the things that you want to keep in mind. Um, Anyone wants to add something to this? Okay, then another thing is, because the flight is long, and you might not have your toothbrush and all of that. So sometimes you might go to the bathroom, just wash your face and your mouth, and all these things. If you have a toothbrush and toothpaste, remember the toothpaste, it can only be very tiny, because the liquid stuff, they don't allow liquids and gels. They don't allow more than 100 ml. So 100 ml is very small. So then you can go to the bathroom. Some bathrooms, depend on the airport, they might put some of these things there, maybe, so you can brush your teeth. And then, but see, on your way, don't think about brushing your teeth. Okay, everybody knows you're on the plane, and if your mouth is smelling, what? Everybody will die, right? So don't worry about these things. I don't brush my teeth at the airport, at the washrooms, in the washrooms at the airport. But some people do that. I'm just telling you, if you wanna come to the US as fresh boy, fresh girl, then yes, you can have those things. So, anyone wants to add to these things so far before we get into arrival? Okay, so arrival. What should I expect when I arrive at the port of entry? So let's say, I get off the plane. What do I need to know? What do I need to do? What is the process like before I actually leave the airport? Ben, you have been traveling a lot. Why are you quiet? Ben. Okay, Ben is quiet. Rhoda, you've been traveling a lot these days too. So, Rhoda, what do you have to say about that? I know I'm putting you on the spot. I
Okay, so
shouldn't be
I
doing
think
that. Forgive me.
that's fine. So coming in, that would be like your first point of entry or just your final destination. I think
So,
if
first,
your
yeah,
final destination is actually your first point of, sorry.
yeah. No, go on, go on. So, let's say I'm going to
Oh,
Columbus,
okay. So if
Ohio.
that's your first point of
Yeah.
entry, hmm
Let's say I'm going to Columbus, Ohio, and then I'm supposed to go through JFK, New York, before I go to Columbus. So it means that all the immigration
okay,
stuff are going to be done at my first port of entry when I arrive in the US, right? That's typically how it works. That is where they are going to check my document to make sure
yeah,
I can enter the country before the next one. The next one, they won't check anything because I've already arrived in the country, right? So where you arrive in the US the first
checked
time,
in.
your first airport is the main thing. So what do I need to know from that? As soon as I arrive there,
Yeah.
what do I need to know? Yeah.
So okay, so you have to remember and then take off
Uh, Ro-
your luggage, your hand luggage and stuff. If
mm,
you place them under the seat, or can you hear me?
yeah, it's okay now.
Yeah. So you have to take your hand luggage. So you follow the instructions to where you can find your luggage, where you're able to pick your bags and stuff. So we have like informations there where due to I think per the airlines that you took, you'll be
Mm,
able to know that oh your bag is in this section or the other section and then pick your bag. Or maybe you arrange for pick up, maybe someone will pick you up or you arrange with Uber or something. So you just have to follow the instructions. I think finding your way out is not that difficult if you read around and then know where to locate your luggages.
yeah, yeah. So like Rhoda said, they will tell you where your bag is. You just have to be following. If you are not careful, if you are not paying attention to the instructions, you might walk around the airport not knowing where to go or where to pick your bags. But basically, the way it is, like she said, they will give you instructions where you are supposed to pick your bag. If you don't know, you can always ask. There will be on your ticket. There will be a gate number which tells you where you are supposed to board the flights, and then when you arrive, the gate you are going to arrive at, and all of that. And also the bag will also have its own information, so they will tell you where the bag is going to be, right? All of this, if you're not clear about this, you can ask. Then when you go, the bags, they just more like a carousel, right? So they put everything there. The bags will just be coming, so you just have to go and stand there with everybody else and wait for your bag. So you have to um in a way brand your bag so that when it comes out, this is your bag. Because if you don't know what your bag looks like, or if it looks like other people's bags, then it will be very difficult for you to identify your bag, right? So you have to put something. Maybe you can design it, your name or something, or the color of your bag in a way, so that this is your bag as soon as it comes out. Because if not, you might end up spending a lot of hours there, right? And you don't want to do that. So that is the and also you have to go through security, right? So at the airport, they will there will be a CBP official who is stationed there, and most of the time, as an international student, the queue is going to be very long. It's very long. You can be in the queue for maybe 2-3 hours or so, trying to you know go through security. So basically, they will take your documents, go through the documents, and maybe ask you where you are going, and that's all. So it's not really scary. Once you have a visa and all, they take your passport, they will see your visa, they will scan it, make sure the visa is a valid visa. They check the I-20 to make sure the I-20 and the school and the one on the visa are the same, all of these things, and make sure they check your service records to make sure okay, everything is fine, and you are allowed to, the school has allowed you to come. Then you can, once everything is cleared, then you can just go through, and then more like you'll be following other people like that until, so you have to go through the security before you pick your bags. Once this everything, or unless you are going to another place, right? Maybe that's not your final destination, then you'll be cleared through security, and then you'd have to go and wait again for the next flight. And yeah, for that one, once you get there, you're not going to go through security again because you've already taken care of that and they know you are in the country. So that is just like if you are in the US and then you are boarding a domestic flight, they're not going to check your immigration stuff because it's a domestic flight. You're not traveling outside the country, right? So I hope this makes sense. Um, who has something to add to this when it comes to
I have
uh
something I'll add up.
okay.
So for me, it was my first time traveling internationally, and so it was a bit nerve wracking, and I wasn't sure,
Confusing.
I wasn't sure like what to expect, and
Yeah.
so um, I'm one of those people that like maybe in Ghana, like I would sit in the trotro and not talk and be like scared to talk, and so like the trotro would take me away, and so I told myself that I'm going to be confident because I didn't want to end up in some country I didn't know, So
Yeah.
I would say like be confident, like ask questions when you don't know. Like if you're at the airport, I had a transit from an airport in France to before I got to Atlanta, and it was a very huge airport. I mean, I knew how to read the flight board, but I mean it was very confusing, and so I couldn't really tell. And so I asked questions. I asked people that I saw around, and they were very helpful. Like people would tell you where to go, what to do next, and so that really helped me. And so if it's your first time traveling, you're alone, ask questions, be confident, and ask questions. When you reach the customs officer and they're asking you questions about your what's the name, your school or your um your education. I mean, you should know what you're about because you went for the visa interview. You know what you said, and so you should be confident, open your mouth, and speak. Um, yeah, basically that.
Let me ask this. Okay, let's say you arrive at the airport fresh from Ghana. You have your phone, the network is not working because it's a new country. Okay, so I know airports have Wi-Fi's and all of that. You guys, how did you communicate with somebody and how did you leave the airports? Like, who helped you leave the airports in terms of communicating with the person over the Wi-Fi and all? Was that easy for you guys, like, for the sake of those coming?
So when I was coming, my mom, my mom gave me money to buy like airtime. When I got Once I left Kotoka and I got to France, the MTN service was useless.
Yeah.
It didn't work again until like the airtime I bought it was useless. But
Mm.
my network changed to another name, so I don't know whether MTN has another coverage with
Yeah.
maybe France or something. It changed. I think it
Yeah.
changed from MTN to Orange or something, and so
Roaming,
for
right?
some
More like roaming service. Yeah.
yes, roaming service. So for some reason, I had network. I had network in France, and so I was able to communicate with my parents. I was able to communicate with the person who was supposed to meet me at the airport when I got to um, Atlanta, and so um, that I think that was helpful. That bit was helpful, but some of the Wi-Fi at the airports they don't work. Like you have to
Yeah.
have what's the name? There's this subscription that you have to have with the airport or
Yeah.
something. So you have to actually log in, not like the normal login on the Wi-Fi. This thing, you have to have a subscription with the
Mm.
airport. You have to actually log in before you can have access to the Wi-Fi. And so it wasn't easy for me. After I got my luggage, I had to sit at the airport like an open place before the person who was coming to meet me saw me. And so there was no way for me to. I didn't have any other means of communication with
Mm.
the person. So for that, I don't know.
Yeah. Who else wants to share an experience?
Okay, I will. Sometimes too, it's good to ask for help. Like Ernest mentioned earlier, myself, before I set off from Ghana, I sent my itinerary to the guy who'll be picking me up at the airport. And anytime I get to a destination where I have access to Wi-Fi, I'll just message him,
Mm.
hey, I'm here. I'll be boarding my next flight. And I just kept him
Yeah.
updated, like I was keeping him updated. So
Mm.
when I got to my final destination, Washington, I sent him a message that I'm at the airport, but then unfortunately he wasn't online. So I had to
Mm.
wait for like 30 minutes and I was just then I was like, let me just ask. It's not bad to ask. So I saw a man and I went to him and I was like, this is the issue. The person who is picking me up, I've been trying to reach him and he's not online. So can you please help me reach out to him? So he was like, no
Yeah.
problem. So I gave the guy's number to the man, and the man called him and was like, "I'm
Mm.
so sorry. I don't have internet at where I am currently, so I'm coming." So the man had to sit with me until the guy came to pick me up. So sometimes
Wow.
it's good to ask. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah.
there's no harm in trying.
Yeah. Any other experience?
Okay, so I think my experience is not different from whatever my colleagues have shared. I think I got easy access to the Wi-Fi,
Mm.
and also I was in communication with the sister picking me up. So she was already there waiting for me when I came. Yeah, so I think you have to communicate to the person. If possible, send your itinerary to them to know the time
Mm.
that you will land to help them plan as well.
Yeah. And the Wi-Fi thing too, if you have money, you can actually, like Ernest was saying, more like a subscription. You have to, if you pay, then you can actually enjoy Wi-Fi in the plane. But that's a bit expensive. You would have to, given that you are from a country outside the US, you may have to pay for it before you board the plane. If you're in the US, you might be able to pay for it before you board, like I think it's probably the same. You probably have to pay for it before you board the place so that you can have access to it. So if you want to enjoy Wi-Fi throughout and do stuff, then. But in the plane, if you've not boarded any plane before, they have this more like movies that you can watch. There is a small screen in front of you. You can watch whatever you want to watch, and yeah, you can change the screen. You can change the program, right? They have music. They have whatever is there. Yeah, you can enjoy it. The thing is that being in the plane is not that comfortable, unless you're even in the first class, it's still not comfortable because yeah, it's not your natural environment, right? But yeah, those are you can at least enjoy some movies, right? They tend to have it depends on the flight as well. For some flight, they can even have local movies and all of that you can watch. Okay, so let me find out this. Do I have to bring how much dollars do I have to bring when I'm coming to the US? At least I know Ben had $50 when he was coming. What about other people? But for Ben, his story is different. He had a supervisor waiting for him at the airport. Once he got there, they picked him up. She picked him up. His apartment was ready, food, everything. So he used to say he didn't need anything. He could have even come with $1 and he'll be okay. Okay, he bought water $3. So he needed only $3 to come to the US. What about you guys? Do you think you don't have to tell me how much you brought, but how much do you think somebody should bring? I know it also depends on different things, right? If everything is settled, then you probably so it's not straightforward. But if you want to give more like if you want to say something about that, right?
Okay, myself, I brought more than $1,000 cash with me because I didn't pay my rent. Like I booked the apartment, I made someone pay a deposit of $100, so I had to pay my rent the day as soon as I arrived. So I had cash with me, and the landlord too was not going to take any check or something. He wanted cash, so I had more than $1,000 with me, and I spent like 50 bucks at I did a layover at Kenya. Yeah. So that was when I spent that money. And like we said earlier, their staffs are really expensive at the airport. Even water.
Yeah.
I bought water at $6. I called my mom. I was like, Jesus. I bought water at $6. My mom was like, let me see the size of the water. We were on a video call. I showed her. She was like, check it. This kind of thing. But I was very thirsty. I needed to drink
Yeah.
water. So I bought the water like $6, and I bought digestive biscuits and drink. So water, biscuits, and drink was $50.
Mm.
Just that.
Wow.
So that
Hey.
was the only
Yeah.
money I spent at the airport.
Mm.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
so
haven't, okay, Rhoda, go ahead.
okay, I would want to add up. So it depends if you have assistantship, which is giving you housing or other
Yeah.
stuff, or if you are not being given housing, or you are supposed to get your own house and then you have to pay. I think for the first time, you have to do money order or something. They'll just take the cash in person or something. So you have to prepare in terms of money and stuff. You're not supposed to convert the amount like You like, okay, so I'm converting it like this, so I'm bringing like $100, and then it's like huge in Ghana and stuff. No, things are different here, and we don't eat CDs here. We don't spend CDs here, so you should not do that. But you should bring something that can help, like last for let's say 3 weeks or 1 month, because I know for some states, if you have assistantship for the first month, you will not receive your stipends till
Yeah.
the next month that they'll add everything and then give it to you. So you have to get money that can last you, if in case you don't have anyone around who is willing to help you and then give you money when you're in need or something. You have to prepare because you'll be alone, and then receiving money back home will be like a different thing altogether. If you have your visa card, that's different, but if you don't have any means of receiving money from back home, then you have to prepare at least something that can last for a month.
Yeah. We've talked about so many things. If anyone wants to say something about everything that we've talked about, something that we missed, right? From getting your visa approved to arriving in your school. We'll talk about other things, after that. But everything so far is, if anyone wants to add something to it.
Sure. So I want to add a few things of
Mm,
which I find myself being a victim of these.
mm,
So the first of all is we talked about things that you have to know at the port of entry. So
yeah.
I don't know about others, but then myself, I arrived at New York and I was interrogated, like going
Mm,
through the immigration checks. Like they asked me, you should know what you are here for. Like it was more or less like a visa interview. The immigration officer took my documents and he started asking me questions like, why are you coming to study this program? Of which they didn't even ask me during my visa interview. So I told him and I was like, so how much funding do you have? He just wanted to be sure. If I'm like, okay, 49K. And I was like, okay, so where are you going to reside? I told him my address and I was like, he doesn't need the address, he needs the proof. So I had the lease, the soft copy, so I just showed it to him and was like, okay. Then they
wow.
stamped it. Like, yeah, so I don't know about others, but that was what
Mm,
I encountered. And
mm,
also the next thing is about, I don't know, I've forgotten where we actually talked about, but I wanted to say it, but then Shai came up with something else and I had to just keep it for next time. So it was during my layover. I was supposed to lay over for 9 hours at Kenya. And I didn't know that the flight was supposed to take her to a lounge to rest and other stuff. So I just got off the plane. My people, like those that I came out of the plane with, I was just following them. We went through the security checks, like they were in groups, they were all going. I wanted to follow them, but then you have to take off your shoes to in order to go through the security measures and other stuff. So I was just wearing my shoe, and by the time I realized they were all gone, and I said, okay. So I checked my booking pass, my pass, and I was supposed to board my next flight in 10 hours. I checked the
mm,
gate and I just went to sit there. Instead of maybe going to the information services to ask them, I was just sitting there. And you know what? I sat there for 10 hours, not knowing, not knowing all the people that I came out of the plane. We were all going to the final destination. So when we were about boarding our second flight, I met this girl who was sitting close to me in the plane. I was like, so are you also going to New York? She said, yeah. I was like, where were you? She said, oh, they took us to the lounge to have a rest. And I was like, Jesus, my money has gone wasted. So at least I was supposed to ask, but then I felt, oh, after all, I'm
yeah.
going, so I have more time. Let me just wait. I slept on
Mm,
the chair for like more hours, not knowing it has been reserved. And because I didn't ask,
mm, yeah.
it really pained me a lot because I missed that opportunity. They were even fed like, and I went to buy biscuit and water just for $50. So
Yeah.
sometimes you have to ask, like ask.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone has something to add before we move on to the next thing? Okay, so let's talk about accommodation. I know you guys have talked about accommodation already. So let's assume that I arrive, I get somebody to get me an apartment. I arrive and then I realize that I don't like the apartment. What do I need to do? Is that something I can do, or I have to just, manage that like that? Yeah. No answer.
I
No
mean,
one.
I mean, I'll answer. I mean, depending on the reason you want to like change the apartment. I mean, if it's something very serious, like it's an medical emergency or it's an allergy, like maybe your roommate has a pet or an animal that you're allergic to, then you can like you have to change, or it's something very serious. But I think if it's something very minor, like you came and you don't like the size of the bed or something, I think it's something you can manage for like a
Mm,
semester or a year, and then you can change. And for changing, I don't think it should be much of a problem because, I mean, depending on your school, there'll be various apartments around that you can inquire from. And depending on how financially strong you are, you can move to a better apartment. But I mean, starting out as an international student is better for you to save and be at somewhere you actually have a roof and you have like basic amenities that you can use, and somewhere you can sleep. And so uh, I don't think you should look for something so luxurious where you want,
mm,
a penthouse or 16 floor or something, something. If you have a 4-in-1 apartment, you can manage it for the meantime, and then when you're done,
yeah.
you can find your way around. And so, yeah.
Mm. But is it easy? Is it easy to break out of a lease agreement? Let's say you sign a lease. Can you easily get out of that? Do you
No,
think?
you can't.
No.
Depending
Yeah.
on the
No, you
landlord.
can't.
Okay.
Especially when you are being asked to pay for a security deposit. If you try to break the contract, you will not get your security deposit back.
Mm,
Unless you get a God fearing landlord who understands that you're a student and knows where you're coming from. But then
yeah.
it's not easy to bridge it.
Mm,
But the
yeah.
fact that others also wanted a place and you booked it, they are not
Yeah.
it's not going to be easy.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
and that's why it's very important to like read the lease agreement before you sign. You make sure you
Mm,
read it and you understand what is in there, so that when you have to leave or you have to breach it, you know what to do and how
yeah.
to handle that. Because it's very common for me. Normally, if the thing is long, I don't have time. I'm not going to read all of that. I need a place to sleep, so I'll just sign it, give you the place to sleep. So, but this place, the laws work, and it's very important for you to read every single thing. You are
Yeah.
signing something, read it, understand it. If you don't understand something, ask before you sign. Otherwise, you sign something. By the time you realize you are in jail or you are on the street. So it's very important to read these agreements, whatever contract you are signing before you do.
Mm, yeah. 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 So what you guys said is 100% the case. Like, or maybe I should say 99%, the case. Once you sign it, by law, you have to stick to the agreement. Just that once in a while, like the case of John, who is not here, right? John, when he was moving to his new school, he transferred, and so he had the transfer document and all those things, and because of that, he went to the those in charge, and he spoke with them, and they allowed him, they gave the room to somebody else, right? But this is not the case all the time. Once in a while it can work, but they by law you are supposed to continue paying even if you leave. So that's just something to keep in mind, but you can always depend on, if you have a good reason, you can try and see. Just if you want to say something.
Yes. So
Okay.
I'm going to say that those who have families here, like brother, uncle, sister, or father or mother over here, let them be your guarantor. If they sign up as a guarantor, it saves you from paying the fee deposit, because my sister signed as a guarantor for me, so I didn't pay the fee deposit when I was looking for accommodation. And then also, since most of those who are coming in might not get a car, kindly look for accommodation that's very close to your school, because when especially when you are going to a place like Alaska, where it snows very heavy. When it snows, you are going to find difficulty when getting a bus, and especially going to a small city like Johnson City, where the bus system doesn't run through frequently. You're going to be in a difficult situation. That's what I'm going to say.
Mm. If I am looking for an apartment, what are the documents that I'm required to submit?
Uh, with my own they requested for my passport, and then my passport, the biodata, and then my visa, and then my I-20. And then I think when I got to JFK, they stamped my passport too. I think the I-94, that I-94 form too, they took that one. And then because I had a guarantor, they took my sister's ID, which is driver's license, and that's it.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. If you're already in the US and then you want to move to another apartment, like a new apartment, you would have to give them your social security number because they would have to run a background checks on you before they can give you the apartment. And they are going to check your credit score as well to make sure you can actually pay your rent once they give you the opportunity to be in the room. So that is something that you should keep in mind as well. Here in the US, yeah, they go by the books. So your social security, you have to make sure everything is clean to make sure you don't have any criminal record. Because if you have, they will not give you the apartment. And also your credit score to show that, oh, you are somebody that when you borrow, you are able to pay. So those are some things that you should keep in mind. um I think Ernest was also talking about you can leave the apartment if the place is not conducive for you, like maybe allergies and stuff like that. So let me tell you my story some time ago, many years ago. Everything I say is probably many years ago, right? So this was in 2018. There were some Ghanaians that when they were coming, I got them a place. So when they came, they were living with me. Their rooms had a leakage. So whenever it rained, at the time too, it was raining a lot. So then the rain will, enter their rooms and all of that. We went to the people for them to fix it. We chased them over and over and over. They were not fixing this thing. So then I got angry and then I went to the legal services. Every school has legal service which can actually render service to you for free. So it's like they can represent you more like a lawyer, right? You can easily get a lawyer from the school. So so we had to take the people to court, and on the day of the hearing, they came to us. They came to the lawyer. The lawyer came to me that they want out of court settlement. They will give us some money, and then maybe like $300 or so, and then they will fix it. They promised to fix it in 1 week, which means that if I had not taken them to court, they wouldn't have taken us seriously because we're international students. So sometimes you have to know your rights, and then yeah. So we took the out of court settlement, the $300, because I didn't even I gave it to the guys because they were the ones suffering, but they promised to fix it in 1 week. It took a bit more than 1 week, but they eventually fixed it very like quickly, which wouldn't have been the case if we had not taken them to court, right? So that is something for you to yeah, I'm a peaceful person, though, but sometimes I don't like certain things, right? But I'm very peaceful, so please. All right. So we've taken care of accommodation. Now Adam asked a question. He said, what are some of the things that he should do in this first week? So let's say he arrives in school today. By next week, what are some of the things that he should have done? Should he book a meeting with his professors? Should he start reading ahead? Should he start going to the library? Like those things. What will you guys say? Adam is a serious student, so what will you tell Adam?
Okay, so one thing that I would tell Adam is that one, you should tour campus. It's very necessary. Yeah, you should know the buildings where you'll be having your classes and other stuff because you wouldn't like to wait for the last minute. You have like 15 minutes for your lessons and you just be roaming about campus asking for building numbers and other stuff. And also, you have to go get your student's ID. It is very important because I don't know, but then going to create my bank account, that was one thing they requested for. Even though I had my Visa, my Visa I-20 and other document, they still requested for my student's ID. So you should go get it, go create your bank account, get a social security number. And also, if you have work on campus and employment on campus, you have to also check in with the international tax office Yeah, to work on your taxes and other stuff. Because if you don't work on that as soon as possible, your payment is going to as well delay for the next month. Then also for my school, I don't know about others, but then officially you have to check in with the Office of International Programs and Services. Yeah, you have to check in with them first before any other thing. So you have to take note of all these things in your first week of arrival.
Yeah, and orientation too, right?
Yeah.
First week. Yeah. Anyone wants to add to that?
So
Yeah.
for me, okay, Joseph, you can go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Ernest. So for me, when I reported to school, I was already in, I've already emailed my program coordinator about me being in the US. So he scheduled a meeting with me. So I think I got to campus on a Sunday, on a Monday morning, like 9 a.m. I was with him, and then he took me around the school, and then he took me for lunch, and then we came back to his office to come and talk about the courses that I should register, and then he gave me the outline of the things that I'll be doing in my first week. He showed me that I should go to the graduate school to present my certificate, and then my certificate, my first degree certificate, and then my transcript if I was having the official one.
Yeah.
And then he also advised me to go to the IOSO office, the International Students Office, so for them to see my visa and other stuff. And then on the itinerary too, there was a time for me to go to the hospital to go and check if my to check something with the health services in my school, and then
Yeah. Hello.
a week later we started the orientation. So that's all I could say.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but you've actually enjoyed. You started enjoying from day one. Wow. Some of you, yeah, you've been enjoying. Ernest, do you have something to say?
Yeah, and so my first week was very busy.
Hmm.
Before I came, I'd already received emails on when we had your orientation, and so there was a general orientation for international students, and there was also one that my department organized for the students, incoming students, and so I knew the dates. When I came, I had a Ghanaian friend who showed me around campus, and so I was familiar with some of the buildings. I emailed my supervisor for my graduate assistantship, and I went to meet her personally. And so she showed me around the office. I actually got her a small gift, a small package, like from Ghana, just trying to be nice and show her a bit of the motherland. And so
Yeah.
she actually liked it. It was a nice conversation that we had. She was excited to see me that I made it successfully. So I went for the orientation. The international office actually helped us. They gave us free SIM cards. They showed us the banks that were student friendly, and that was really helpful. And so I was able to go to those banks and actually um, create a bank account. When I say student friendly, like there are some banks that wouldn't open accounts for international students, and so some other banks too will just need your I-20 and some other the I-94 and some others that they will be able to open a bank account for you, and you wouldn't have to pay monthly fees, and so they were really helpful with that as well. I met other Ghanaians at the orientation, and so if you're an international student or if you're coming to the US and there is an orientation, I'll advise you to go. You meet people from whichever country you're coming from. You network with other people. You learn a lot. There was also um, some free items like swag items from the school. There was lunch, and so orientation is really helpful. I'll advise that you go. And so yeah, it was first week was very busy. Make use of it.
Yeah. Orientation. There are a lot of free gifts actually. Free food, like free a lot of things. Everything, like you get a lot of things for free. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. With a gift card and with the gift that you give to your supervisor, not for me to, not like I want to sound negative or something, but
Mhm.
based on my own observations, I realized that those times I used to help a lot of people before they even come. I would get them accommodation and all of that. I pick them from airports, do sort of all sort of things. But no, most of them didn't even give me a gift. And for me, I feel like it reflects who the person is, because if you think about it, if you are in Ghana and then you are coming to the US, somebody has been helping you before you even came, and then you are giving somebody a gift of, let's say, 100 CDs. You've not done anything, right? Even picking you from the airport alone, if you take Uber, that's like maybe $100, depending on where you are, right? But a lot of people, they don't know how to do this, and I never paid attention to it until so many years ago, so many years, everything, I put everything together. I was looking at a lot of things, and I realized that for me, my conclusion about that is that if somebody coming doesn't know how to give you a gift, the person has already revealed who they are to you, and so that alone should make you know how much the person cares about, because it is common sense, if I think about it, that at least, like something, unless maybe the person asks you to bring some things to the person, then maybe that can equate that. But a small gifts shouldn't kill you. Like, you should think about it, right? So yeah, I mean, I just thought I should. And this is a good advice, because if you do that, when you come, the person is even going to like you more. Be like, oh, this person is very considerate, and this person actually, is a good person. It reflects what is in your heart. It's very simple, right? So sometimes not everybody likes what I say, but okay, now let's talk about phone plans. So can you guys tell me the phone plan you use and how much you pay? Anyone can go first.
Okay, I think I will speak to that. So when I came, the reason why I haven't been speaking is because I feel like some of my experience are like very different from what you shared, and I feel like I don't want to probably give a false impression that okay, this is what you have to expect when you come to the US, because you all have like different assistantships. When it comes to the phone plan, I was using Mint. So when I came to the US, that was what I used at the start. It was very cheap. I had to pay $15 a month. And then for me, I was just concerned about just getting a mobile connection, just getting a mobile plan, because when you're on campus, you get internet access all the time. You're able to access every room on campus. So then there was no need for me to go for an expensive plan with an unlimited plan or whatever. So then
Yeah.
that is what I used. So those who will get to live on campus, you may not have to like go for those expensive plans. You just go for like a cheap plan to sustain you. I actually currently have a very expensive phone plan as compared to when I came to the US. And then thinking about it, it's not economically wise. So maybe within some few months, I'll go back to Mint and be using fifteen
How much
dollars a month.
how much do you
So
spend on your
currently,
phone?
I pay $72 a month just for my um,
Hey,
my connection, and
hey,
I am thinking
hey.
about it, and I'm going to change it very soon. So yeah.
Which network?
So I use Boost.
Boost Mobile.
Yeah, I use Boost Mobile. They have this infinite plan. It is $65, but then when they add taxes, it shoots up to like $72. But then it's actually nice when I get to find myself off campus. It really helps a lot as compared to Mint. Mint was giving me only 5 gigabytes a month, but then I spent less time on campus. When I go to know, like when I go to the US and I started going to places. I realized Mint wasn't going to help me because whenever I find myself off campus, I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go to Snapchat, like WhatsApp, because I was scared my data plan was going to finish. But I am currently off campus and I'm on my Boost mobile network right now. Mint wouldn't have been possible. So, yeah.
Okay, so the Boost Mobile, is it part of a phone plan or just the data? Just a
Yeah, so that is just the standalone data.
hmm, I see. That's interesting. That's a lot of money. Wow. Okay,
Yeah, I
who
will
else
change
wants?
it soon.
Don't change it. It's easy like that. The money is there. Who else? Who else wants to talk about?
So for me, when I came, actually stuck with the SIM card that the international office gave me, and that was Mint. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I mean, it's not the best. I mean, but you can manage it. I mean, there are certain areas on campus where the network will be off, like you can't access anything. But I mean, it's
Yeah.
affordable. I actually pay $36 a month. For some reason, I don't know why it's. I know other people pay lesser than that, but I pay $36 a month. And after some time, I subscribed to their 6 month plan, and that was around hundred and something dollars. It was at a discounted rate, and so I didn't have to worry about them deducting from my credit card every single month. And so
Mm.
I think it was an affordable plan for me. And so
So
yeah,
that's like $15 a month, right?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So yeah. So yeah, every 6 months then it renews, and so I think it's good rather than seeing the deduction every month.
yeah.
That 30 something, that was too much for me,
Mm.
and so yeah.
Yeah, that makes
But I
sense.
have other friends that are on they want good network, so others are on what is it AT&T and others, and they are
Yeah,
paying
okay.
so much. And I mean, I think they have, depending on your pocket, you can go in for the best of the best. So yeah.
Yeah. What about uh what about Regina? Do you have
Okay, so
Regina has money, so I'm thinking about $40 to $60.
okay, so when I first arrived, I was using Mint, and I'm still using it though. But then it wasn't really working for me. I think for the first 3 months, I was paying $15 a month, and after the first 3 months, I was being asked to pay $25 a month, which 5 gig wasn't enough for me because I didn't spend most of my times here. And
Yeah.
like Ernest said, some areas of campus do not have strong internet connectivity, so you have to use your own Wi-Fi and other stuff. So
Mm.
I decided to try Verizon. Yeah. And
Oh.
also they have this limited plan, and it was $85 a month.
Mm.
Yeah, so
So
I
so you
just
$85 a month. Regina, you bro, what's wrong with you? You guys, you see my reaction is because of how much I pay. You guys are going to make me feel like, Nashai, what is wrong with you?
exactly. I went to their office and I was like, I need to buy a SIM, and also I
Mm,
need a good package. So they gave me the list of the packages that they have, and I realized that would help because it was more or less like a business package.
mm,
Yeah. And it was unlimited, and I was like, oh my God, because at my apartment, sometimes today Wi-Fi wasn't that strong. So
mm,
it was a great opportunity for me. But I paid for the first 2 months and I was like, no, I can't keep up with this. So let me
yeah.
just put it aside. So and I called the Mint. Actually, a friend of mine told me that when I call them, they will be able to give me a discount and other stuff. So I called them and I was like, initially I was paying $15, but I don't know why you're asking me to pay $25. And they were like,
Mm,
we have a 1 year plan, which is $180, and you are going to give you 5 gig. But
mm,
I didn't have a choice because I couldn't also pay the 85 plus the $25 just for a phone plan a month. So I
mm,
just signed up for the 1 year plan, and it was 5 gig.
mm.
So that's
Yeah.
what I use. When it get finished, I just top up like 1 gig for $10, which is a lot of money, but actually it's better than the $85 for the Verizon.
Mm. Yeah, when it comes to phone plans, I think it depends on your lifestyle. So someone like Ben, he says he travels a lot, and so then in a way it's like, yeah. But for me personally, my life is a boring life. I am either in my room or I go to school. In my room or I go to school. I don't go anywhere else. I don't do anything else. Sometimes I can go out and then I'll see my car and I'm like, this car, why am I paying insurance, right? Because I don't drive the car and all of that. So my life is a boring life. When I came, I was introduced to a network called um this is 9 years ago, right? I was introduced to a network called, oh, I don't remember the name, but so then after that, then somebody introduced me to Ultra Mobile, and then from Ultra, somebody from Ultra, then I was looking around and I came across one called Red Pocket, so I switched to Red Pocket. So I was using Red Pockets, but then at some point I changed to Mint. Mint is the network that almost every school they are going to recommend that to you. I don't know the kind of arrangement Mint has with these people, but Mint is always recommended. Every school is going to recommend Mint, to you. So I used Mint. I've used Mint for 3 years now. Well, no, I'm not. Aduma, you want to mute your microphone? I am not using Mint right now, but I changed my plan last month. Was it last month or this month? Early this month. Because I always go with 1 year plan and I use Mint for 3 years. And the 3 years, I started with $15. I think the $15 is easy to entice you. Then at some point I needed more data. So I think I was getting like 8 gig or so, and I was paying like $25. So I always went with the 1 year plan. But then when my plan ended early this month, I decided to check around and see what is there. And I came across one. I decided to check my old networks that I used to use. And the thing is that I don't use data. My campus everywhere the Wi-Fi is good. I don't, you know, use data for anything in my apartment. I am in a studio apartment and then I use the internet alone. It's my own, like it's like I'm the only one who uses the internet, so it's good enough, right? In a way. So and I don't go anywhere, either campus or my apartment. So that's why I say it's about your lifestyle. So for me, I decided to switch to a plan. The plan currently, at the time I paid for it, which is like last week or so, it was 3 gig. And then when it comes to the US, how much you pay is based on the data, because the how many minutes you call is unlimited, how many tests is unlimited. Calls and tests are unlimited in the US. It's only data that you pay. So it's only either you want 5 gig of data or unlimited. Like that is where the variation comes in. So because I don't use data, and my previous plans, I never used I never used the full data. Like I could, then the month will end and I had a lot of data. So I came to 3 gig, and even the 3 gig, I don't even know how many, where I don't even use it, but I just need a plan that I can use to make calls. So my current plan, so right now I'm on Ultra Mobile, and the Ultra Mobile, when I signed up for it like a week ago, it was, I don't remember, just a little over $100 for 1 year, right? So that's, I think $151 or so for 1 year. So on average, I don't know, maybe like $13 or so, right? And I was supposed to get 3 gig, but then I think they had a promotion. The promotion ended, and so now I get 5 gig. I don't use the 5 gig, and yeah. So it's about your lifestyle. If you know you're not going to go out a lot, 1 gig might even be enough for you if you don't use it for anything. And my lifestyle recently, I was having some pain in my eyes and all of that. I was like, oh, I have to reduce my screen time. So which means that if I get to go out a lot, it means I'm not even going to spend a lot of time on my phone, because yeah, I think I've been spending too much time, whether I'm recording or I'm doing all sort of things. So that's something you want to think about as well. Okay. So that is it for the phone plan. You can go with whichever one. You can check Red Pocket, you can check Mint, you can check Ultra. You can, if you wanna pay more, the expensive ones, Verizon, AT&T, this other one, T-Mobile, right? T-Mobile, yeah. So these ones are very expensive because most of the time they come with unlimited, but I don't need all those things, so I stay away from those things. So yeah. Now let's talk about health insurance. um what kind of health insurance are you guys using? Are you using the school one, and how much do you pay, or you use external ones like ISO?
I use the school one.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I pay 3,890 something for the year.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, 3,000, it'll be small money. Killer. Okay, who else wants to talk about how much they pay and the kind of insurance they use?
So I use an external insurance. So when I came, I didn't know of the external insurance. All that I knew was the school's insurance, and that was about $2,000. And so when I came, I actually um, paid the $2,000. And later, a friend told me that same semester, a friend told me about the external insurance.
Mm,
I applied to that one. I had it, and I later, I mean, when I had it, I later was the name changed it from the school to the external one, and so my money was refunded back to me. And so for the external one, I don't pay anything. Um, I actually have an insurance broker, so my friend introduced me to an insurance broker over here. I just sent her my documents and my details, and um, I was assigned. I had an insurance, and it has been working for me for the past 1 year. And
Mm.
so yeah, I'm on an external insurance. I don't pay any monthly premiums or anything. I honestly I don't know how that works, but as long as I'm not paying anything, I think that works for me.
So every month you don't pay any health insurance at all.
No, I don't pay it.
So the
But I
the
think it's
broker.
every semester you have to renew your like yeah your health insurance. But
So
I don't pay any
when
premiums.
you renew it, do you pay money or you don't pay anything?
No, I mean like with the school, like in terms of health insurance, you have to renew
Okay.
it. But
Yeah.
with the health insurance that I am with, I don't when I when you're renewing it, you don't pay anything.
Mm. So
Yeah.
it's more like free health insurance.
Yes, exactly.
Mm. Oh, wow, I see.
Yeah.
Wow. So what is the process like if someone wants to be on that plan? I don't know if it is limited to your geography, but like just so that everyone can find out on their own. So how what is the
I, I,
process
I,
like?
I I think
Uh,
I think it has to do with, as you said, your geography, like where you are
mhm.
particularly. Because when I was in touch with the insurance broker, she asked of like my zip code, and she was able to tell me like the various insurance that were available in that particular like
Mm.
region or that particular area. And she asked me like what did I want? Did I want dental, what care and eye care and all of that? I was like, oh no. I mean basic um medical
Yeah.
care was good for me. And um she asked for my documents and my I-20, I-94, and my um social security.
Mm.
And she found one. I don't know how they do it from their end, but she was able to find one for me. That was Ambita health insurance plan, and it was I didn't have to pay anything.
Mm.
And so I they actually mailed me my um, health insurance card like a few weeks later after I applied, and that's what I've been using, and it
Mm.
works.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you watching, Ernest is in Georgia, so just in case, yeah, Georgia's have to university. And as an international student, you have to understand that you have to have health insurance because if you don't have health insurance, you'll be in trouble. It is a requirement. The school will tell you to submit a document that shows that you have external one. If you don't have external one, then you have to have the school one. So that is something to keep in mind. Everybody needs to have insurance. And okay. Yeah, I go with the school one. So I pay, I don't know, maybe like 2006 or so per year. So yeah, there are certain things I just I just don't that I don't know. Not like I'm lazy, but I just let things be. And there's nothing wrong with looking at the external ones. But I make use of my health insurance. I do checkups and stuff like that, like blood work, and so it's like yeah, it's all good. Like no problem. Okay,
For my
anyone
school,
to
sorry,
yeah.
in my school for PhD students, their insurance is being waived for them, but for masters, it's compulsory.
Mm,
So if you're a master student, it's compulsory for you to have one. But if you're a PhD student, there's no need for you to.
the school pays for you. There is a need for
But
it, but the school pays for
yeah,
you.
I thought it applied to all schools. I didn't know some schools PhD students were paying. So
Yeah, it depends on. There are a lot of information that it's more like individual case. Like it depends on the individual. It depends on the school, individual school, and all of that. So or individual program in the same school, different programs may have different things, right? So yeah. All right. So that's good. You guys, you've shared a lot. Now let's get into bank accounts. Which banks are you guys using, and what? How did you open the bank account?
I use Bank of America and Wells Fargo.
Hmm.
Yeah, so with Bank of America, that was 2 days after my arrival. I went to the bank. I just followed some friends. I went to escort them, and upon getting to the bank, I realized, okay, why am I even here at the first place? So let me just do it. So
Yeah.
I opened the bank accounts with Bank of America, and the required documents were student ID, your I-94,
Four.
which mine wasn't ready because I said 2 days after my arrival. So
Hmm.
I used student ID, my passport, and my I-20.
Hmm.
Yeah, then also proof of resident.
Yeah.
which is my lease agreement.
Your lease. Yeah.
Those were the documents I used.
Mm, okay. Who else wants to say something?
So, for my school, the International Students Office recommended some banks that we could like open bank accounts with because most of the students over the years have accounts with them, and as a student, they wouldn't charge any monthly fees, and so I use Tourist Bank. I know other international students here use Chase as well, and they asked for my I-20, my I-94, and I think some proof of address, like where you are
Yeah.
staying in the US. And I was able to open a bank account with them. They don't deduct anything from my checking or my account monthly. And so, yeah, that's what I've been using since I got here, and it's been good.
Yeah. Here in the US, a lot of things are free. When you open a bank account, they are not going to charge you monthly fees. They are not going to, when you get your statements, they are not going to charge you anything for statements. Um, your debit card is free. Everything is free. In Ghana, everything you pay for. But I mean, there are some banks who might charge you something for this, but mostly free. Like when it comes to some of these things, which in Ghana is just, when you compare, you're
Yeah,
like,
so
what?
also the main reason why I went to open a different account with Wells Fargo was due to this because Bank of America they were charging me a monthly fee of $5.
Hmm.
So someone introduced me to Wells Fargo, which is an affiliate to my school. So with that, because I'm a student, I just needed my I-20 and my student ID. Those were the only document they requested for with Wells Fargo, and it's free. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they
Different
have
banks.
this, their debit card is their student affiliates, like the school affiliates card, like George Mason University, then your details. Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
it.
different banks may have different checking accounts. So yeah, the bank accounts that we open that we receive our salary is called a checking account. So when you go to open a bank account, just open a checking account. Okay, checking account. There is, you can also open a savings account if you want to, but the main thing is a checking account. Some checking accounts can also be more like your savings account. You don't need a savings account. You can still keep your money in your checking account because the savings account will not give you any interest, anything, any significant interest. So you can still have one account. Some banks they charge you interest for the savings account, but then no, they don't. They charge you fees for savings account, but no fees for the checking account. So you want to check all these things. You always want to make sure you are checking the conditions for opening the account because one bank can have different checking accounts, so more like levels depending on what you want. You have to know what you want, the conditions and all everything, so that you know what you are getting yourself into. This is very important. Now, the bank that I recommend, most of the time the schools will recommend credit unions because they tend to have some affiliation with the banks, well, with those schools. So that is something to keep in mind. With some of the banks that have like affiliations with the school that are situated in the school, you might actually get debit card with the school's design and stuff like that if you want. So those are things to keep in mind. The bank that I recommend, which I recommended to a lot of people, and right now I hear people doing like people doing like recommending it. I'm like, okay, so this is Ohio University in 2017. When the new students came, I introduced them to Chase Bank, and the way Chase Bank works is that you open the account and then you are entitled to $300 for free. So you open a bank account, you get $300. And so 2017, I introduced a lot of people, 2018, like that. And now a lot of people are introducing it to other people. But I can confidently say that I started this at least in Ohio University in 2017 and then, other places as well. So that kind of thing. So the Chase Bank, the way it works is Ohio University, there is a credit union. I don't recommend that because, yeah, it's a credit union. There is no fee. They won't charge you any fee. There is nothing. It's the same as the Chase. The Chase has one thing. One thing is that you have to make sure every month you are getting $500 passing through your account. If you are a GA, you are going to get $500 passing through your account. If you have GRS or a tuition waiver, you are still going to get $500 because if you add it to the job you do, you are going to get at least $500 passing through your account. That's all you have to do. You have to do that, and you have to keep the account opening for 6 months. So after 6 months, if you want to close the account, you can close the account after you've gotten your $300. It is very simple. America will not stress you. America will give you free money, but you have to know. So that is just a condition, and it is very simple. You just need a code, a coupon code. I don't know if any of you is interested in it. I can leave you a coupon code in the description of this video, like a link. Once you click on the link and then you open, you get $300. And like you guys suggested, or you guys, said about your experiences, you only need to submit these documents, right? Those documents. With Chase, they might ask you for your social security card. If you don't have it ready, they will still allow you to open the account. And then once you have the social security card, you can send it to them. A lot of time you can, you can just tell them you don't have it yet, and when it's ready, you bring it to them. That's all. Go with your passport, your I-94, I-20, your proof of residency. That's all, which is your lease. So those are the things that you need to open a bank account in the US. So yeah, if there are so many banks in America, you want to check on all of this, depending on where you are. If there is no Chase, you want to look at other banks, and then you want to look at the checking accounts, the conditions, and everything before you open the account. Okay, you don't have to ask current international students to tell you where to open a bank account. You yourself, you can go online and then read what each bank has to offer, and then you can go ahead and you can also ask them because they've been here. But the thing is that some of the things that I found out was that some of these international students, we go with what is there, what was given to us, right? You get there and then everybody's using this, so then you end up using that, right? When I came, the network I was using the first time, that was what everybody was using, so they gave it to me. Then a friend introduced me to one other one. Then I also found another one on my own, and I introduced other people, right? So sometimes you don't have to stick to what is offered to you. You may want to do your own research as well. Okay, the fact that somebody's here doesn't mean they know everything. Me, there are a lot of things I still don't know. So you have to understand it like that and be willing to do your research. Okay. All right. So finances. Let's talk about money. Money in general, budgeting, and all these things. How? Let's say I'm a GA. Then we'll talk about if you don't have a GA. But let's say I'm a GA. How can I make very good use of the money that I receive from the school? Regina, you are an expert when it comes to budgeting. So tell me, how can I make good use of the monies I receive from the school? Because it's not easy. People think once you are getting paid, it means that it solves everything. But the reality is not. Regina, she's giving plenty money, but still she's
Depending on your state, some states are expensive, so no matter
yes, cost
how
of
much
living.
they pay
Yeah,
you, you still wouldn't be able to save
yeah,
a dime.
that's
So,
true. Yeah. So Regina, how do you manage your finances?
okay, so I have a budget. I have an app which tracks my spending, and also I have my budgets. I list them according to my priorities. So, which one comes first? Your rent, right? So, at the end of the month, the first thing that I do is to pay my rent, then go grocery shopping. Then I know how to deal with the rest. And also, I know we'll be talking about that, but then personally, TNT transportation is one thing that I was battling with. Yeah, it
Mm.
just ended few days ago because I spend a lot on Uber in and out. Yeah,
So you have a car now.
by God's grace. So
Ah, geez. The way you said it ended, I knew. Okay, that's good. Congrats,
by
congrats.
God's grace, yeah. So I was because I spend a lot on transportation, even more than
Mm.
rent. So just imagine.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Wow.
also, eh, I don't know if it's okay for me to say, but then I'm someone that I don't like to sit at one place for long. So
Mm.
instead of being at home, I'd rather find a side gig and do
Mm.
so
Braiding,
I
right? Do you
travel, like
braid?
I go out a lot.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
go to church, I tell
But
people, you know what? I can cook. Like those caterers at church, I can cook. So anytime you have order, call me. So like people are calling me, come braid my
yeah.
hair for me, come help me with this. So I'm always traveling like 2 hours away and I don't drive. So I spend a lot more than
Yeah.
I gain. So I just
Now,
and
now, now, more
I
money.
told
More.
myself, you know what? I have to start saving. So maybe
Uh,
at the end of the month, you just put something down, save
yeah.
something, yeah, for
Mm,
something specific. You have to be
mm,
intentional. Yeah.
yeah.
If you know what you really want, you have to know how you're gonna spend your money. So,
Mm,
like, I have to get a car by the end of this. So every month, you just allocate some fund into that money and save it up. And
mm,
so, and I don't spend much on food because I make use of the pantry there. We have pantry at church, and that's
yeah.
at off campus. But now school is on break, so I mostly go to church, even this morning. And I'm also in the pantry committee, so we go on outreach. So when we back, I'll just sometimes before we even embark on that journey, I'll just save mine aside before we go finish up the food
Yeah.
there. So yeah, so you have to make use of those stuffs
Yeah.
because it helps a lot. You're not going to spend money on food. So if you have that opportunity, you grab it. So that's how I spend my money, even
Mm,
though I don't save much, but at least I'm okay.
mm, yeah. Yeah, the budgeting app that you mentioned, I don't know which one you mean, but I'll take the link and put it in the description. I also have one that I used in the past, but I don't use it anymore because I think I wasn't I never budgeted. I was spending more than I was earning and all of that. I just messed up a lot of things. So I got that app and that opened my eyes to my reality, the mistakes I was making. So then I monitored my spending for like 6 months and I got to know, okay, this is so right now I don't use the app again because now I know what I've been doing, what I used to do. So right now I can avoid all those things. But yeah, that app is very good. There is a free version and then there is a paid one. The paid version is just $1 or so forever. You pay $1 forever, and that
Wow.
is so good. Yeah, you can track so many things. So yeah, I will put a link in the description as well. Well, so
For
that
me, I
if
use the
anyone,
Bank of America budget app, and I've
oh,
set
okay,
I've set the amount of money I want to spend on every
mm,
category. So whenever it try to exceed, they'll just send me a notification that you are exceeding
mm,
your budget for this. So at least
mm,
it helps me track some
yeah,
spendings and other stuff.
yeah. Yeah, that the one I use actually, well, I used to use the one I what I so when I buy something, then I'll record it. So at the end of the month, I know how much I spent on everything and how much I earned. So my salary, I'll put it there. This is how much I earned. Then I'll put all the expenses, and it will subtract and tell me. I was getting big negatives. I was like, hey, what is going on in my life, right? So then I had to reset everything, and yeah, so that's yeah, budgeting is extremely important. You cannot spend more than you earn, no matter what they are telling you back home. Some of these things it's very difficult to tell because to talk about because it's like everybody's background is different. Some people, yeah, you cannot advise somebody like that. But at the end of the day, just be careful because it's not easy like that. Yeah, and also when it comes to schools, okay, before I even talk about anything, anyone has something to add? Any tip that we can keep in mind? Okay, so what about I come to the US, I don't have any funding. What can I do? Any advice for me on what I should do, to get funding while I'm in the US?
So, so can I go ahead?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Right. So, some schools have dining halls that they welcome international student who are currently studying in that university to work with them. So, you can check out your dining hall, and then also for student employment, and also when you come into the school or you come into the country at first, a lot of people may be given GAs or have GA or have tuition waiver or whatever. It may not be able to get into the United States. So when you come, I would advise them to check the graduate school to see if there are funding opportunities still available so that they can grab it. In the sense that with this current Trump situation, a lot of people may not get their visa. They may get full funding, but they might not get their visa to come and study. So when you come to the school, kindly check from the graduate school if their funding are available so that you can reapply for those funding. And if you don't get a part-time job at the school dining hall. You can also check the school library as well. They may also have some spot for part-time or student employment.
Shy, you are muted.
Sorry about that. So yeah, when it comes to when it comes to coming to the US without funding, my I always insist that no student should come without funding unless their family can take care of them, right? But then once you arrive without funding, then you have to survive. That one, you're already here, so you have to find ways to survive. So that one, like Joseph said, you have to go to your department and talk to them. Some people may have been given the funding, but then they didn't come, right? So then you go, it's there, they will give it to you. The funding, they allocate it for students. So if some students don't come, they have to give it to you, they'll give it to you. And then also, if first semester you don't get funded, in the second semester, if you work hard, you get a good GPA, yes, they can make something available to you, right? Also be nice with the professors contributing in class, all these things. Yeah, you want to take all these things seriously, and there's a good chance you can get funded. Those of you who come with GA, and then let's say your GA is 15 hours, you are thinking, oh, I have 15 hours, I have money to enjoy, and you don't want to you don't want to take advantage of the 5 hours. You could be in trouble, because when I came, my funding took care of everything, but then my program was a 1 year program, and so we had to do summer. And the summer, I had to pay school fees because my funding was for more or less 9 months, right? So I had to pay school fees for the summer. And the summer, I realized that I still had money, but then I still needed more money to take care of accommodation and my summer fees and all of that. So that was when I started doing, the dining hall thing. The dining hall thing. So when you come, if you have 5 hours, take advantage of the 5 hours, do something. It might not be much, but the advantage of that is that in summer, when you are not doing your GA work, you get 28 hours that you can actually work. And so the 28 hours can actually give you a lot more in a way, right? Until I got a job at Global Health, where I was more like in an office. I had my like office and all, but I had to do canteen work. So when you come and you have to do canteen work, please do it. Oh, it'll give you money. If you come and then you are doing bosu, you suffer, and then you see that it's not easy like that. So please. And Regina also mentioned the pantries. It's so important. There are a lot of things you don't have to buy. Like there are pantries around, and my school and a lot of other schools, they have like more like a closet or something with clothes. So warm clothes, winter clothes, and all of that, and official wears and stuff like that. They keep some of these things there. They might not be brand new, but then they might be good enough for you, right? I've seen people who have gone to those places and pick stuff. uh me this. I've not been there before, but yeah, you can go and get some things there, and the pantries too. For the pantries, yes, I've been to pantries before and all of that a lot of times. So you want to take advantage of all these things so that you don't have to spend too much on a lot of things. Okay. And there are a lot of resources when you go to school and then you are suffering. You want to reach out to the international office. And I know John's experience wasn't a good one, where the international office, but sometimes depend on the school's international office and all of that, they can actually suggest certain things to you where you can actually get some free things, and all of that. So those are some things that can help you manage your finances. Okay. All right, let's talk about credit cards. So who wants to tell us what a credit card is, when they got their credit card, how they apply for it, and all those things, and whether a credit card is something an international student should use or not. So uh who wants to say something? Ernest is gone. I feel like Ernest would have also been able to say a lot about credit card, but he's gone right now. I don't know why. But okay, who wants to talk about credit cards? You guys are using credit cards. Why are you guys making my job difficult for me? Okay, Ernest is back.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, go
So
say.
credit credit card is like it's like you taking a loan.
Hmm.
Basically, it's like you taking a loan from a bank or a financial institution. So for me personally, I use Discover credit card. Um, when I came to the United States earlier on, because I have families here, they didn't allow me to take the credit card. So I didn't use credit card for the first term until my second semester. That's when I my sister taught me how to use a credit card, and then she sent me a referral, and then I did, and then I think I had like $100, and then she also got $100 when I used her referral code. But then she told me that the credit card is to enable me to build my credit score, so that when I'm done with school, or when I'm trying to change apartment, I can get a good credit score to get good rents.
Yeah,
Or if I want to buy a car, or if I want to buy something that requires credit score, it will enable me to get that. So
yeah,
she told me that because I'm a student, and then family is also supporting me, I shouldn't be using my credit card to buy everything I want. So let's say if in a month I need maybe I use $70 to buy my groceries from Walmart or whatever. I use my credit card to pay, let's say 50% of that, and then when I go back home within 3 days, I make sure I paid it back. So when it comes to credit card, that's what I know about that, and that's how I use my credit card.
Yeah, that's yeah. So like he said, right, credit card is just when you come, they are more like banks, right? So it's like a loan, and they give you an amount of money that you can spend. You spend whatever, so long as they call it credit limit. Credit limit means the amount you can spend, the maximum amount you can spend. So they give you the money, maybe like $2,500. That we are giving you this money. You can spend it, but then you have to pay it back. So the way it works is normally when you come, they give you more like 0% APR, 0% APR for maybe 6 months. 0% APR means for 6 months you're not going to pay any interest. So even if you spend all the money, even if you spend all the $2,500 on the credit card, you only have to pay the minimum amount, which is maybe $50. So once you pay the $50, even if you are owing them so much, no interest, no fees, and all of that, that is how they entice you to use a card. The problem with that is that once the 0% APR period ends, so maybe 6 months ends, then you have to pay all the balance. Otherwise, you are going to be charged interest. So that is what you have to understand about credit card. And credit cards also have different fees. If you don't pay the minimum amount early, then there is a late fee. If you So the way you pay to the credit card company is that you have to connect your bank account so that they will take the money from your bank account. If they try to take the money and then you don't have money in the bank account, then they are going to charge you a fee called return payment fee or something like that. So they have different fees that they can charge you. If you want to transfer your balance, let's say you have two credit cards, one of them you owe so much, the other one is brand new, the other one can tell you that, oh, you can transfer the balance you owe on that credit card because that credit card is charging you maybe 25% interest, which is so much. So you want to transfer to the new one will give you 0% APR for balance transfers, which means by transferring your balance from that old card to the new card, you're avoiding the 25% interest. But then they are going to charge you balance transfer fee of maybe 3% of the amount you want to transfer from the old card to the new card. I hope this makes sense. So then they have all of these things. As an international student, you want to use your credit card sensibly. You have to make sure if you spend $1,000 at the end of the month, you pay the $1,000 back so that they don't charge you any fees, any interest, anything. So don't spend too much on it. If you spend too much on it, make sure you have enough money to cover it. Even if there is 0% APR, the 0% APR can be for maybe 1 year or maybe 18 months, right? But it doesn't mean you are not going to pay the money back. You still pay the money back. It's just money, more like a loan. And the way the loan works is if you're able to pay it well, then you will not pay any interest. If you're not able to pay it on time, then there will be interest, and the interest, when the interest starts, is crazy. You are going to be in trouble because the interest will be more than it could be more than the minimum balance, all right? That is the mess that I put myself in at some point. I had a credit score very high for like 5 years, and then 3 years ago I started making some mistakes and all of that. So you want to avoid all of these things. Don't overspend. The people that you are caring for, some of them, they don't care like that. So be careful. Don't spend more than you earn. So ideally, use your credit card like your debit card. I don't recommend using your debit card because your debit card will not give you anything. If you use your credit card, whenever you spend money, you get points, and the points are more like money back. So if you spend, let's say, $1,000, and then the APR is one, the cashback is 1%, which means that if anytime you spend $1,000, you get 1% of that back. So 1% of that will be $10 back. So $10 for free, nothing attached to it, just free money, right? So that is what. And then you can also get points. The points, you can redeem the points for, more for like for flights, for hotel, and all of that. So that is why credit cards are very important. You also get to build your credit score. Credit score is extremely important because when I, like Joseph mentioned some of these things. When I was moving to Illinois, I didn't know anybody in Illinois. There were international students here. I didn't reach out to anybody. I didn't know anybody because when I was living in Ohio, I had some experiences and all of that. I didn't, so I just did. I wanted to come as an independent person, not to rely on anybody. So I had to go online, look for the apartment, and all I had to give them was my social security number. They checked my credit score, it was good and all of that. So then I got into the apartment. Right. So the credit score is very important. I already told you that it is to show, in a way, to show that you can pay when they give you the apartment, right? So that is something. And also, when I bought my car, the car that I currently use, it was brand new, like from the factory, right? When I bought it, uh because I had a credit score which was very good, I got the car that I bought. It was during the COVID time, so there was no interest on the car, 0% APR on the car that I bought, and they gave me, I got some discounts on the car and all of that. If I didn't have a credit score, there was no way I would have gotten that car, because they had to do a hard pull. A hard pull is more like, if you want to get a loan or something, then the credit card company will use your social security to check your records before they approve the loan. So getting the car is more like a loan as well. So then I got that car. It was brand new, and they gave me 5 years to pay it. So I've actually paid it for 4 years, and I have 1 year, which I don't remember how much I have right now on the car. But the value of the car is way higher than what I also, in a way, it wasn't a bad deal given the discounts I got and all of that. And I also traded in my old car, right? So those are some of the advantages of having a credit card. Of having a credit card and a good credit score. Everybody must have a credit card. Everybody, but you have to use it well. You have to learn how to use it well, because if you find yourself in a mess, you'll be in trouble. Hey, it will be brutal for you. So please don't be in that mess. Don't spend what you cannot pay back. Okay. So if anyone has something to add to this, then they can go ahead and then okay. Joseph mentioned Discover credit card. Now Discover, when international student came to Ohio University, that was the card that I always recommended, and it's still the card that I always recommend. For international students, it has to be your first credit card. Discover credit card because of the flexibility of using it and the perks that it comes with. You get $100 for free if somebody refers you and you use a code. You get 100. You also get 0% introductory APR, which is, I don't know, maybe for 6 months or for 10 months or so. So if you come and you don't have funding, at least you get some cushion until you get funding. But be careful, because the 10 months or the 6 months will come, and then if you are not careful, you'll be in trouble. So that gives you some cushion to be able to take care of certain expenses before you get the assistantship or something. So yeah, so those are some things that you have to keep in mind. And those of you who are coming, if you want to use our code, looks like Joseph has credit Discover. I also have credit Discover, so I'll put the links, our referral codes, in the description. Any of you who has a code as well, you can let me know, and then we'll put the links there. You come, and then there is a maximum that somebody can refer you. I don't know how many, but maybe 10 or so. So if I put mine there, and then let's say I get to 10, I don't know, but if let's say I get to 10, then I'll remove the link, but I'll put all the links there, such that anyone who gets there first will just let me know, and then he will be taking, and then the others can get the opportunity. Because if I refer 11 people, I'm not going to get anything for the extra person. So what's the point of having the link there, right? So I'll take your links for the Discover and then put it there, so that if anyone wants to use it, then the person can also use it. Who wants to add something to what we've said so far? Ernest, do you have anything to say about credit cards? Ben it seems to be very busy today. So does anyone have something to say about credit cards, and then we can move on to the next thing? Okay, let's talk about shopping. This thing is very going to be, I know it's going to be long. If any of you has something to do, I understand perfectly. I perfectly understand, but yeah, we are trying to help people avoid our mistakes, and save themselves thousands of dollars, right, in a way. So let's talk about shopping. How do you guys shop online and in store? How do you guys shop when it comes to in store? Where do you buy your stuff? And if you can be specific about some of the things you buy, maybe why and all of that. And also online, where do you buy your things, right? If you can give us the information as well.
Okay, so I shop both online and inline shop. So with groceries, maybe Walmart.
Hmm.
Yeah. And like I said, I make use of the pantry. So the only thing I get from Walmart is maybe fruits and water, like it's
Yeah.
water and maybe a
Your,
few
your
things.
water. Yeah. Continue.
Maybe a few
The
a
blow
few
cheese.
things, and also yeah, that's the only shop. And Dollar
Mm,
Tree, maybe for plates, cutlery, and other stuffs, you can also try Dollar Tree. It's
yeah.
$1.25 for every item that you pick. And it's cost efficient. And for African stuff like meat, because I don't prefer these Walmart meats like this American chicken, I prefer the local one. So I purchase them at the African shop, the meats and other stuffs. Then with clothing online like Zara, Shein, and with let's say decks and other furniture and appliances, you can try the thrift stores, Goodwill. Yeah, they have quality things at affordable prices. Like the deal is so cool. Yeah.
Mm, okay. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, the English thing is not your fault. The thing is, you communicate with people who are white and Africans. So sometimes you don't even know whether you should say water or water because you don't know who you are. Like you can actually get confused easily. But the problem is that the people back home, they would think that, oh, she's brothalizing things, but it is not intentional. Sometimes, yeah, it is difficult for us. Okay, so please, those of you back home, don't don't make it harder for us. Yeah, yeah, Regina, the things you've said, yeah, the places you shop, yeah, I think, yeah, those are some of the places that I also shop as well. Anyone to add to that, and then we can, yeah,
Yeah.
mm,
So for me, what I would say is that when you get in, the first place you should go is Dollar Tree. Dollar
yes,
Tree in the
100%.
sense that you're gonna get plates, cups, mop bucket,
Everything.
and then mop and other stuff for
Yeah,
just $1, as Regina
the
said.
prices, yeah,
And then for food stuff, I'm going to mention Walmart and then Kroger and then
yeah,
Aldi
yeah,
and then
yeah.
Aldi. And when it comes to clothes, Ross, Salvation Army, actually Salvation Army and then Goodwill, they have it depends on the states and the city that you are in, but
Mm,
some cities when you go to their Salvation Army, you will get good jeans for less than $5.
mm,
It depends on the city that you are living in, and then um after your first semester, try and get Sam's Club card so that you can shop in bulk from Sam's Club. Sam's Club is
mm.
a it's another shopping. It's like shopping mall of Walmart.
Wholesale, more like
Yeah,
wholesale.
wholesale. Yeah,
Mm,
you get things at cheaper price if you have their membership card. So maybe after your first semester, try and subscribe. I think it's $50 or so. It depends on the premium.
Is it
The
easy
member.
to get? Is it easy to get a membership card?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
It starts from 50. That's the basic, and the premium is like $100 or so.
Mm,
You can do that if you have like Ghanaian roommate. You can just share with him, and then you give him the card anytime that you are going. He is going or she's going for shopping. You can get access inside and pay and buy and pay anything that he or she want. And then
mm,
also when it comes to books, I get my books from Amazon. So that's the only thing that I buy online. Amazon, maybe some, yeah. And then when it comes to laptops or let's say camera or let's say um, any electrical devices, I just go to Best Buy.
mm.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. When it
and
comes
then
to but
sorry.
yeah,
So
go
for
on.
the clothing shop, I mentioned Ross, and there's Five Below, and there's Old Navy.
Mm.
It depends on your budget though. If you are
Yeah, if you don't have
financially okay,
money,
you know the shops around, and then
you don't
and then there's Macy's. If you have money,
Mm,
you can try those places.
yeah.
And then when it comes to detergent, sorry, when it comes to soap, for soaps and then body cream, it depends on your budget as well. Um, so the places I've been to, Bath and Body Works, they have duration, they have period that they sell. Let's say a soap for just $2 and then $4. Just recently, when US was celebrating their Independence Day, a bottle of shower gel was for only $5. So when it gets to those period, if you have money, you just buy a lot as you can, and it depends on where you are to.
Yeah. Yeah. When it comes to Bath and Body Works, I can say I'm an expert because I've used it for a long time. So those are the body stuff that I use. except more like an ice cream that I use from Amazon. That one is from how do you call it? Um, it's a popular brand actually. I don't know why I don't remember. But then with the body, stuff, the soap and all of that, I use stuff from Bath and Body Works, and the Bath and Body Works, like Joseph was saying, there are times that they run promotions. So if you wanna be on the lookout, they run two big promotions every year. So one is usually in the middle of the month, maybe around May, June. They run one, and then they run the second one in December. So during those promotions, what they do is that they reduce the prices significantly on some of the products. Some of the body wash and all of that, instead of costing, let's say, $18 or so, during that period, you can actually get it as low as 3.99. Recently, they had like 3.99 and all of that. They have this wall plug, so it's more like uh air freshener, right? The one you plug into the wall. So that
Yeah.
one, yeah, that one is about $7.95 or so. But when they are doing promotions, it can be 2 point something. So you can be on the lookout, and then you buy plenty of everything that you want. Then so that you can use it for a long a long time, right? Until the next promotion. So, but that is something to keep in mind. They run it twice every year. This year's one, I think it delayed because I was thinking it would come, but it delayed a little bit. But that's something to keep in mind. It will always happen. They call it semi-annual, and then they have the annual one at the end of
And
around
bro,
November.
I think they should also. I think the person should also subscribe to their. I think they have a membership that you can register for free. So you have to register
Yeah,
so that you get notification for
yeah.
promos. Yeah.
Yeah, so you create an account. Once you create
Yeah.
an account, they will send you, yeah. So, and the thing that with the account also is that if you buy a lot, you get free items. So I
Yes.
have gotten a lot of free items. Recently I went to I went to pick an item because yeah, I got free items. So yeah, those are some of the things that you wanna take advantage of.
And then when they are doing their promos, if you buy a lot of stuff from their end, they will send you a
Yeah.
promo, like a
Yeah, they'll
coupon
send
to
you a
get
card.
free.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's all part of being a member. Yeah, I get a lot of these things. Yeah, so yeah, Bath and Body Works. The products are quality product too. Quality,
Yeah.
like something $17, they are selling it to you for $4. Just think about it, how much you are going to save. So Bath and Body Works, take
Yeah.
advantage of that. Okay. Then with the laptops, so these days because of what I do, I use Apple stuff because of the ability to
Oh, okay.
connect everything. But with laptops, when I came to the US for until I started using my first MacBook, I was using Lenovo, and Lenovo, they tend to have some deals. A lot of times they tend to have a lot, deals where, especially before Black Friday. So those of you coming, I'm sure you guys know. Everybody knows Black Friday, so you know
Bro,
Black
that's what
Friday.
I'm also using. That's what I'm also using.
Lenovo,
So
right? Lenovo.
they have like back to school promoting.
Yeah,
So and I think it runs in August. They are going to slash their, let's say
yeah,
let's say the laptop goes for $700. It's going to be reduced to, let's say, 450,
yeah.
depending
Or
on
even, or
the.
even $200.
Yeah, yeah. And I
Yeah,
think
Lenovo.
Amazon too also runs the same thing, back to school promo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if
So
somebody's looking forward to buy a laptop, I think when it come, just relax,
just
um,
relax. Yes.
just relax, check online and ask around, and
Yeah.
then go to shops that sells good laptops and you get one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
look out
think
for
this
Lenovo.
this week Amazon is running Prime Week.
Oh yeah.
So if you're a
Yeah.
member, Prime member, you get a discount. I think is it
Yeah.
70 or 50% discount of everything you purchase.
And
That's
also,
how.
when it comes to laptop, be careful because they have refurbished laptops and they have
Yeah.
used one.
Yeah.
So when you are, just don't just look at the prices, but also look out for if it
For
is
that.
new
Yeah.
or refurbished or something.
Yeah. 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 That's true. Yeah. The thing also about these promotions is that sometimes Black Friday, the price may not have been reduced. Maybe they were selling it for $50, but then on Black Friday they will say $70 reduced to $50. So sometimes you just never know, right? These are marketing strategies that you wanna check. But yeah, close to Black Friday, you can get some deals and all of that. So Lenovo, yeah, if you want a laptop, I my go-to will always be Lenovo because my first laptop that I bought from Lenovo, it was actually expensive, maybe $1,000 or so. But the original price they put there was like $3,000 slashed to like thousand or something. Right. So that yeah. So then you wanna take advantage of some of these discounts. What about sending money? Do you guys send money? Is there an app that you use to send money? Do you have money sending
Yeah,
out
remotely.
remotely? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
So,
use.
mm, I have used different ones, many of them. I have used Wise. Initially they were called TransferWise. Now they are called Wise. I have used uh for the TransferWise, it was for big amounts. When I was sending big amounts, I'll use that one. But then with small amounts, then I'll use SendWave, which they also now they call them Wave or something. Then there are all these other options as well. But yeah, make sure you are fine before you think about sending money because sending money is now. All right, so let's talk about academics. Um, how do you survive or thrive academically? What are some of the things that you guys have done as students that you think have worked for you?
Okay, so as a student thriving academically, I would say my professors have really contributed a lot. Okay, so being the only black student in my class, and also when I came my first class, I sat in the class for 2 hours and I couldn't hear anything. So I was like, seriously, why are you laughing? I couldn't hear anything. I was just sitting there. I'm like, what is going on? Is this what's going to happen forever? So at the end of the class, I'm this kind of person that if you do not ask me, I don't want to talk about it. So I just took my bag, I was going, and my professor called me and was like, hi, Regina. Like, okay, hello, Prof. Shen. Said, how was the class? I just didn't know what to say. I was like, it was fine. I was like, so did you learn a lot? I said, what did you learn? I said, you know what? Truth be told, I didn't hear anything. And I was like, so why didn't you tell me? Why are you going? I didn't know what it is. I was just quiet and I was like, wait, I should wait for him. He has a meeting with a student. So after then he sent me the slides and he was like, this is not Ghana. This is the US. So if you
Mm,
don't understand anything or you have any issue, just reach out to the professors. We are here for you. Right. So ever since, even if like with my other classes, even if everything is fine, I still reach out to the professors. Like, you know what? I don't have any idea of what we talked about.
yeah.
Can you please help me? So they do this check-ins, like their TAs to reach out, and also my supervisor that I was working with to then she also taught some of the classes I was taking. So she was more or less like a help to me. So anytime we meet during office hours, she'll ask me how far are you with the studies, then she'll just take me through some stuffs and also try to connect with I would say PhD students in the same field or those ahead of you, like in Ghana, we say seniors. Yeah, try to connect with them. So some of these professors recommend that we do so because you are new in the program and they have experiences. So you try to connect with them and also make time for yourself. I know some of you might have GAs and like graduate and teaching assistantship positions, and you might be working your ass off, but you should also prioritize your studies because that's the main reason why you are here. And if you don't learn, your scholarship is going to be taken away from you. So you have to always like people say you prioritize your schedules, but then I'll say I will what schedule my priorities. That's what I say. I
Hey,
have priorities, but I'll just schedule. I'll not prioritize my
yeah.
schedule, but I'll rather schedule my
Yeah.
priorities. So that's what I do. Then that's
Mm,
all
yeah.
I would say. I don't know about
Yeah.
others.
Anyone has something to add?
Yeah.
Um.
Mm.
Okay. Just
Okay, you and Ernest, go ahead.
So, thank you. Grad school is can be tough. Like mentally, academically, it can be tough, and so like try as much as possible to stay organized with deadlines because I mean when they give you assignments here there is a deadline and they expect you to finish it before like that deadline comes, and so it's not like Ghana where you can I mean maneuver your way around. Even Ghana it's even the same. I mean you have to finish your work on time,
Yeah.
and so it's very important for you to um plan ahead and know, I mean, be able to juggle your academic life with your professional life. If you have a GA, a graduate assistantship, make sure you know how to um, prioritize whatever work you have to do and make use of the office hours of your professors or lecturers. Because over here, I realized that they are very adamant about students coming during the office hours. Come and talk to them. They want to hear from their students, and
Yeah.
they like feedback. You know, when they teach something you don't understand, they expect you to come and discuss with them and see the way forward. And so it's very important that you take advantage of the office hours of these professors. I remember when I came, um, I mean, in the first one of the first classes that I had, it seemed scary because the professor was saying a whole lot of things, but just like Regina, I couldn't understand. And he was talking about deadlines and we having to study the course material by ourselves and coming to class to discuss it. And so like every week there is an assignment. You have to log in into the school's portal and do the assignment. And after the class, I forgot. Week passed. There was one assignment gone. And it was later that a friend told me that, did you do the assignment? How did you do the assignment? I asked him, was there an assignment? And so I was scared because the national student he came, I already missed an assignment. So I actually sent an email to the professor and told him that I'm an international student and I'm still wrapping my head around everything. And he was like, oh, there's no problem. I should just try to get the assignment done. And if I have any problems, I can reach out to him. And that was it. I submitted it, and that course I even had an A. And so I think
Nice.
the professors here are very flexible. Just try to take your time and plan ahead. And I mean, mentally, um, make friends in class. Try to talk to people, network after class. Just don't leave. Like try to introduce yourself to someone. Say hi. I'm from this place. Try to get people. You never know where you might need help from, and so it's very important that you make friends over here. Yeah, and sometimes making friends can be hard. If you feel
Yeah.
mentally down, you can call home and talk to family. Try to, I mean, um, talk to someone. Don't sit in your room and feel mentally down or wallow in
Yeah.
depression. Depression is real. It can kill. And I mean, these things are real. Sometimes it's very hard to discuss these things, especially where we are from. Um, these mental stuff. Mental education and all of that. It's not, but it's real, especially coming from a different place and coming here and trying to figure out a lot by yourself, maneuvering all of that. I mean, international students do very well, and so it's easy to feel
Yeah.
down sometimes and feel overwhelmed, and so it's very important for you to, I mean, prioritize that as well as you go up and down daily. Just find some time for yourself and see that you are doing well, because that aspect of your life can affect every other
Yeah.
aspect. You can be doing academically well and your mental health will just go down, down the drain, and it affects every
Yeah.
other thing. And so I think it's something that you should also prioritize as an international student. Yeah.
Yeah. Joseph, you want to say something?
Yeah. So for me, I had I won't say terrible. I have different experience because when I came, I'm reading public administration like Ernest. So when I came, we were supposed to be like 12 in the class. I'm the only international student my school admitted for the public administration course. So I think after a week of registering for the classes, like a week before we will start for class, all of them dropped for the in class option, and
Yeah.
then they opted for online.
Mm.
So I was left alone, and then my program coordinator called me and was like, well, since you are the only person who is an international student, you don't have any options than to do the in person, but I'll allow you to do um I'll allow you to do one online and then two in person. And even with
Wow.
the two in person, um, one professor was supposed to take me public finance and management. He was suffering from cancer, so I can't drop the class, because if I do drop the class, my scholarship will be taken away from me because I can't register some courses below
Mm,
18 credit
yeah.
hours or so. So I have to do
Take
independent
9
study.
credits.
Yeah, I have 9 credits. Sorry, thank you. I have to do independent study with one professor.
Wow.
Yeah, so I what they did for me is that they gave me the course outline and then the books that I should get, and then my only classmate was my library. My only classmate was my library. I didn't have any classmate than to go to the
Charlie.
library. So when my first semester, even in my second semester, I was going to the library every day. At least I have to spend 4 hours at the library. As Ernest said, every week you'll be given an assignment, and then you have to complete it before time. But if
Yeah.
you are overwhelmed by those assignments, you can always speak to the professors to reconsider so
Yeah.
that you submit them. And then
Yeah.
try as much to read before you go to class, and then try as much to speak in class, because the professors will be like looking at you to give a feedback on what they are teaching or what you study. So in my first semester I took a law course, administrative law. I have never read anything. Even Ghana, I didn't read the constitution, so I don't know anything about law. Me, I'm a pure science student. I read environmental science and an administration
Ah,
field. So
wow.
yeah, and then I didn't know that US they will allow you to even enter their court system to got cases like the 18s, the 19s, the 2000. Like you have to read bunch cases like
Yeah.
one topic you can read like let's say 7 or 10 cases, and when it comes to class, the professor will be looking at you. So this and this, maybe Kofi Bonsu, and I'll say what was it? What was the court verdict, and what was the reason why they did this and that? And then you have to start speaking. You are
Ah.
I'm the only person in the class. I have to start speaking. So so I
Ah.
made sure that I read before going to class, and then
Mm,
after class too, if I'm given assignment and I have free time, I quickly do it, because if you want to do like, oh, I'll do it later, time will catch up and then you might not
yeah.
submit it on time. And then too much excuses will affect you in grad school. I tell you, you
Mm,
can't be giving too much excuses, because
yeah.
one, they admitted you. uh, they admitted you over more than 1,000 or hundred
Yeah.
people who applied, and they know you
Mm,
are competent. So don't come and show up
exactly.
show up like you don't care, or you are giving too much excuses and other stuff.
Yeah.
And
That's
if you
true.
have a GA, they will take it from you. If you are not academically sound, they will take
Yeah.
it from you.
Yeah. If you get
Chill,
below
but
3.0.
yeah, chill, but reduce the time you're going to have fun. This is not like undergrad at
Yeah.
UG or KNUST that you can go and chill and then you copy your friend in your class. I'm the only person in the class. I don't have anybody to copy. You can be in my situation, or you can be in a situation like um or Hinewa, who is the only black in the class, and
Yeah.
then the white, some may be friendly with you, some might not. Don't take it
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah.
In my second semester, I had people who dropped from the online to join me in class. He is black but light skin. As soon as we close from the class, he is the first person to walk out. So you can't. It's not like Ghana that people are going to say, "Oh, hi, how
Yeah.
you doing? What's your name?" No, they don't do that.
It's different.
Okay,
Yeah.
once you're out of the class, they
That's
pretend like they don't know you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You
then
are
It's
only
so
in
bad.
my
present in the class, but out of classroom,
Yeah.
everybody
It's
goes
so
their
bad.
in
separate
Yeah.
in
ways.
my second semester, I was taking public organization theory course, and then there was this topic, I think Maslow's theory.
Mm,
Um, I read the thing. When I saw it, I didn't read. It was an article for us to read for class. I didn't read it. When we went for the class, all the me, I was in a class with two American guys, and then they all quiet, and I started speaking, and then the professor was like, the the article that he gave us was too much. My colleagues didn't read, so how did I got to know all this? And I was like, I was taught in high school. So don't forget the things that you've been taught back home too. They are very useful. Yeah.
mm, yeah. So let me find out. Do you guys have certain apps that you recommend for students who are coming to the US? I spoke with Akinton and he mentioned Grammarly, that Grammarly is very important to him, and ChatGPT. Obviously, everybody uses ChatGPT, right? In a way.
Copilot,
So is there,
Yes, I use chat. I use
yeah,
chat,
is
but
there something else?
Copilot.
Copilot, okay. They do the
and
same
then
thing, right? So
I use
okay,
Grammarly too.
Copilot,
I use
Grammar,
Grammarly
okay.
too. Yeah, and then those who are coming for the LLM and then the other law degrees,
Mm,
there are a lot of sites, but I'm sure your professors will give you the site to get it. But the
mm,
one I've been using is Quimby. It will
mm,
summarize your court cases and everything for you, and then it will make
mm,
it brief. So when you go to class, you know your left and right.
okay, that's good. Uh, Adam asks, if you have any study tips for anyone who has been out of school for a while. You know, do you have any tips? I know you guys have said so many things, and you can actually do something
Yeah,
from that. But at the same time, this is more like
yeah,
specific, right, to that
yeah.
question.
So somebody who has been out from school for a while, you should get a notebook and then let's say your textbook, so that let's say if you when you are reading, you can write it's the easiest way to remember, and then also remember what you study, and also make sure even if you can spend like 2 hours in a day at the library, do that. And if you are when you are stressed out, can you use the gym?
Mm, okay. Yeah, I was going to talk about mental health. If no one has something to say, I will say one or two things, and then I will talk about mental health. Does anyone have something to say? Okay. Then so the other thing I want to say is that in Ghana or Africa, when you take an exam, they are going to post it on a blackboard or something like. But here there is a blackboard as well, but the blackboard is online, and not just blackboard, but every school may have different thing. But it's more like a platform where you can actually get access to the course material. So here they don't share course outline like that. Some professors may share the course outline, but most of the time everything is online. If you have to read something, they'll post everything online. If the professor has to send you an email or something, they will probably post an announcement in the blackboard. So when you come, you know how the blackboard works. It's not anything. It's just a place where you submit assignments and stuff like that. Just so that you keep that in mind as well. um, then also, depend on your school, you may have access to the Microsoft Office suite, right, where you can get access to. Most of us we are familiar with Word documents, Excel, and then PowerPoint. But the Microsoft suite has so many other things as well, which you might want to explore. Right? There is what's the name of that thing? Is it whiteboard or something? So when I'm teaching students online, I write on my iPad and then it shows on my
Yeah,
computer, right? Using the
whiteboard.
whiteboard. Yeah. And the suite has so many different things you might want to take advantage of. Okay. So that is just for me to, add to everything that we. Now let's talk about mental health. I know every school probably has counseling services, right? Where if you are struggling mentally, they are there to support you, whether it's academic, whether the mental health issues have to do with academics or relationship, whatever. I think they are there to provide you with some, mental health or emotional support in a way. And, things like if you are struggling to manage your time, I think they can help you design something based on your schedule. A lot of people suffer from imposter syndrome, right? You think you're not good enough, right? So yeah, that if you need help with some of these things, they are there to help you with some of these things as well. But then you guys, is there something that you recommend outside the school's counseling services?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you can also indulge in outdoor activities like
Mm,
Joseph said earlier, you have to go to the gym, not necessarily the gym, but then you can also go to the park, water park, and myself, our school, we have a theater. So every Tuesdays, I just go watch a movie, and
mm,
yeah, to just get off, release some
yeah,
stress because
yeah, that's
it's
good.
very stressful out here, and
It's not easy.
Yeah, so just engage yourself, and you can also join communities and clubs as well. They
Yeah,
also do fun activities and other stuff. Even
yeah,
coming together to have a conversation itself, it's something fun.
can help. Yeah,
So I know someone will say, I'm always indoors, I don't make friends, I'm not that kind of person. But when you get here, you have to
you
make
have to
good
be
use
that
of
kind of person.
it. Yeah, because if you try to be indoors all the time, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, but some people
When
they'll
I
be
came,
fine.
I tried, but then
Yeah,
it got to a point
I
you had to just
yeah
because
I personally, I think I am okay with that right now in my life. But I wasn't always like that. When I came, yes, you go out, you do stuff, you travel. But now I think I'm okay with that kind of lifestyle. Maybe like for now. So yeah, just if you wanted to say something, or
Yeah, for me, I use church. I
mm,
I use church. The let's say the committee organization or groups within the church, mostly they are youth groups there that you can join, or even
yeah,
student groups that you can join. So that let's say within the week you can meet like once or twice to also take your mind or your stress off from something. And
mm,
then myself, I'm an indoor person. Apart from going to class, going to shopping, and then going to library to read, the only places that you see me around is my church.
mm,
It's my church, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, to add to that, I will recommend every school has a gym, which once you have the student ID, you can always get access to those gyms. And some of them, they might have like a swimming pool. You can take advantage of all these things. Just cool down. When you go to the gym, you might meet some people. I'm giving you advice, not that I do, right? I have a treadmill in my room that I use because I don't like going out often. But sometimes I take walks. I go around. Walk around, take pictures and all of that. But yeah, everybody is different. But you don't want to just be in your room. If you are somebody who likes to be in the room, you don't want to be in the room all the time, because that can even affect you mentally, right? If you are just always sitting down, that's not a good thing. You want to get out, walk, take fresh air, right? You want to open your windows for oxygen to come in. Like, all these things are very important. If you are always in your room, you don't open your doors, then yeah, that might not even be good for your health. Good for your mental health. And the thing is that the body and the mind are connected. If something is happening to you mentally, it will lead to a disease. It can cause your body to also feel it. So you want to make sure everything is well balanced, right? You are doing all these activities. So, and the schools, they have all these things. Like I said, just take advantage of them. What about societies, clubs? Have you guys joined clubs, or school leadership positions or something? And are you paid? Like, Adam asked this question, so I thought I should ask you guys.
okay,
Uh,
so I joined few clubs like the Black Students Union, African Students Association, Ghanaian Community on Campus, and yeah, this First Gen Students Association and other stuffs. I joined these communities and it has really been helpful. And also, yeah,
Helpful
the
in what way?
secretary for the Ghanaian community at George Mason here. It's not paid though. We are doing it willingly because we
Yeah,
also want to like explore our culture and
yeah.
also come together as a community and help others. So it's not
Mm,
paid. I'm doing it willingly.
So you said it has
And
helped you. How has it helped you?
okay, so we have professors here on campus who are actually Ghanaians, but we never knew about that until
Mm,
we officially registered the
yeah.
community. That was when we got the opportunity to connect with a lot of them, like 4 or 5, and they are serving as advisors to the community, patrons to the community. And as a secretary, I connect with them almost all the time, and there are lots of things that they
you
have
okay?
taught me that I think if I hadn't had this opportunity, I wouldn't have known about all these things. And also, I've
Yeah.
had the opportunity to meet with a lot of alumni, and we've organized productive seminars, successful
Mm,
programs, which has really impacted a lot of people, including
yeah.
myself. So, these are some of the benefits that I get from the group.
Are there requirements to get into these societies and organizations?
No, you
Okay.
just log into the website, Macy 360, then you just search Ghanaian community at George Mason, then you just be verified. Like, yeah, you send a request, then we will approve it, then you join. There are no requirements and other stuff,
Secretary will approve
unless
it.
you want to serve as an officer. Without, you
Mm,
have to go through election processes, vetting,
mm,
and other stuffs. Those are
okay,
the
that's good.
requirements. Yeah. And
Right
we
now you
even
have
have
a
a pantry, like a pantry within the community. If you need any help, like food, in
nice,
terms of food, clothing, other stuffs, we are there for you. Yeah.
nice. Right now you have a car.
Yeah.
So you got a license before you got a car. Can you
Yeah.
tell me about the process of getting the driver's license and also the car that you bought?
Okay. So first of all, I had to go for a learner's permit, and with that, you would have to study Virginia, the Virginia driver's manual. Then you go to the DMV to take the learner's permit exam. So I took the exam for the first time. It didn't go well. I just missed the point. Yeah,
Uh,
so I had to take it for the second time. I took it for the second time and I passed. So I got my learner's permit. And okay, so for me, I enrolled in a driving school adult package, which is $530 for 7 days, um, classroom and road lesson. Yeah,
mm.
so after which I took the road test and I got my
The road lesson, how much do you pay?
530
Wow,
for 7 days. Yeah.
530 for 7 days.
Yeah, next driving school in Alexandria, Virginia.
So you didn't get anybody to teach you?
Yeah, I got people to teach me, but everybody's quite busy here. And the person who was willing to teach me to was kind of saying, you have to get your own car before I can be able to
Mm.
teach you. Like, he was not willing to teach me with his own car because he felt like it's his car. And
Yeah,
I'm
if
not
something happens.
familiar with the car. So I have to get a
Yeah.
car in order to familiarize myself with the stuffs in the car. So,
Mm,
and I wasn't ready then. So I just had to enroll in a driving school and learn how to drive.
wow. So
Okay.
you took the test and then you got a driver's license. What about the car?
The car, I bought a car 4 days ago. Yeah.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah. So thank you. Actually, it's not a new car, it's a
Yeah,
used car. I got
that's
it
how
from
that's how
Facebook
it starts.
Marketplace.
Mm. So tell
I
us
got
about the
it.
arrangement, how you got it, how you met the person, all of that stuff.
Okay, so I don't know anything about cars. Yeah.
Mm,
This is my first time driving and owning a
yeah.
car. So I reached out to a few friends, like male friends who have cars on
Mm,
campus to help me in search of cars. So they were like, I said, I don't know much. So as a first timer, what are
yeah.
your recommendations? Like cars which are reliable. So like they suggested two cars like Honda and Toyota. So that was what we did. So we just went on Facebook Marketplace, search for the cars, and you have to price it. Sometimes the prices are just there, they'll tell you it's fixed. But when you reach out to the sellers, you price it, you're good to go. So that was how I was able to purchase it. So two friends of mine who are guys, they helped me to go check out the car and also work on one or two stuff, including the pricing. So
Mm,
that's
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay. So,
yeah. Go on. Yeah.
all right. So when it comes to the driver's license, how to acquire one, I would recommend everybody that when you come in at first time, just take your time. Kindly take your time, unless maybe you know how to drive and you are financially okay to, I mean, get these things, because getting a car in the US is not a luxury; it's a necessity.
Yeah.
So if you have it, it's okay. But if you don't have money, like most of us, just take your time. And then
Mm,
I will recommend you to go to App Store. If you are using an iPhone, go to App Store and download the DMV practice test.
yeah.
Yeah, that one will benefit you when you're going to take the knowledge test, because I took my knowledge test once. I spent like
Mm,
7 minutes. I went with some white guys and they were surprised. I spent 7 minutes and I was done.
mm,
So I did my own in Tennessee. Um,
mm,
it was 30 questions, but if you get 25 correct, you are They were
Yeah.
okay, you passed. So I got a 25 and I passed. So
You knew how to drive before you came, right?
yeah, I knew how to drive,
Yeah,
but
that always helps.
I wasn't an expert driver before coming here. So
Okay.
I had a friend who no, I had a part-time job on campus that I was working with that white girl. So I told her that I want to use her car to do like a practice for some time, and then she was like, okay. This girl, anytime that I test the girl, she was like, oh, she's busy. So the day that I scheduled for the road test, that was the day that he told me that she is free. So I
Mm.
scheduled the road test around 11:30. She came to my apartment to come and pick me up around um I think 6:30, 6:30. So 6:30, this
Uh,
girl was at my apartment. She picked me up. She made me drove through the town, John City for some time, and then at 11 a.m. she asked me to drive to the DMV office at Johnson City. So when we got there, um, no, before getting to the highway, I gave her the car because Charlie, somebody's car, I didn't want to scratch it or do anything. So I gave her the car to take me to the DMV. And then I did a road test after that. After I think 3 or something weeks, I got my driver's license, and that was it. So
mm,
I took my driver's the language test once, the driving test, the road test also once, and then buying car. Actually, I use your you have a YouTube video on how to get a car in the US.
yeah.
So I watched your video and then I registered for Copart membership. So I bought my car through Copart, and then yeah, so that's it.
Mm, wow. Yeah, so those of you who are interested in buying a car, you can check that video out. It kind of gives you an idea.
Yeah.
And when you come as an international student, you have to, if depending on where you come from and all of that, if your father is John Mahama, then you can come and buy a brand new Benz or something. But all of us, we started from a used car, and then you can later on when you get money, you can buy brand new. Okay, so I didn't just come and then buy brand new. No, so you start from somewhere, then you get somewhere. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. So the driver's license, just like what they've said, to summarize it, there are two stages. The first one is the knowledge test. The knowledge test, you go and then you take an exam, like objective questions, or I think so about 30 questions, you have to get 25 correct. And then once you pass that, then you do the road one. The road one, by then you should be familiar with the route and how to drive. And then a supervisor, somebody will sit on your side, and then you drive around. He will tell you what to do. Go here, and then based on how you perform, then the person will say, okay, you are. Then you are going to do maneuverability. So the maneuverability is like there are 5 cones. You have to maneuver, go through, and then come back. If you're able to do that, then your I was going to say your visa is approved, but then you get a license. Then yeah, that's all. Now when you come to the US, you need an ID. There are two options. You can either try and then get a driver's license quickly, which is recommended if conditions are right, or you can get a state ID. So the state ID is an ID which can help you a lot if you cannot get a driver's license. The thing with the state ID is that as soon as you get a driver's license, you have to throw away the state ID. You can only have one of them. So yeah, so it's better to get a driver's license if everything is possible. Now, there are a few things that I want to talk about, but I want us to take a break, like a short break, because myself, I need to use the restroom quickly. So maybe like 2 minutes or 5 minutes or something. Maybe 5 minutes. This one is online, so 5 minutes will be too long. So maybe 2 minutes, and then we'll come back. Okay, so guys, stick around. We'll be back. We all need a break. So thank you, and thank you for being around. We'll come back, and I'll respond to your questions. Okay, sorry about that.
I have a lot of great videos to help you get started on this channel. I like to push students to give their best because funding is very competitive. Any scholarship that is automatic is a small amount. Good funding requires you to submit an application that stands out. For your application to stand out, you have to treat the whole process seriously. I am not here to lie to you or sugarcoat anything so that you will like me. I am here to tell you what works and how to avoid wasting money, energy, and time. I don't want anyone coming to the US and suffering, especially if your family isn't rich. That is why I try to provide you with all the right information to help you get good funding and help you pass your visa interview. Everything in life requires work. The more work you put into the process, the greater the reward on your investment. There are no shortcuts in life, just smart, consistent effort. So if you are new here, consider subscribing to the channel so that you get all the reliable information that can make your dreams come true. Also, check out my ShyPod channel, which is my podcast where I interview international students about their journeys from admissions to life abroad. I do my best to ask them the questions you want answers to. I've also created WhatsApp groups where you can connect with other students who are also on their study abroad journey. Many of them are happy to share insights and answer questions based on their experience. I also have a Telegram group where I give students the opportunity for free mock interviews on my YouTube channel. You just have to be in the Telegram group, and when I request for details, you just have to send the details to me or to my assistant. All right, now it's time for us to kick off today's live session. Drop your questions in the chat. Tell me where you're watching this from and share the live session with a friend who needs this. I will also appreciate it if you give this live session a like. It helps the channel a lot. All right, so I am back here while I wait for my guests to join. Okay, we have okay, you guys are back. Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Let's talk about internships, jobs, and other opportunities. You guys are not on internships, so it's like I don't know if you guys wanna talk about some of these things.
Yeah.
Ben would have okay, yeah. So Joseph, yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to internship, some programs it's a requirement for you to do to be able to
Mm,
graduate. Like public administration, most of the public administration courses programs.
yeah.
I know Ernest is doing one. Myself, I was supposed to be posted by um, the Tennessee Public Service, but they didn't do that. They told me that they because of the funding issue, the cut in funding issue, they can't um, afford to pay for my services. So
Mm,
I had an internship slot with my the dean of graduate school at ETSU. So
mm,
um, in the next semester, the fourth semester, the coming semester, I'll be working as well at studying as well. So I'll be doing 30 hours a week plus my normal my normal duty as a student. So when it comes to internship, first of all, when your course require you to do an internship, engage your program coordinator about the institutions that the school work with them, because some schools have institutions they send students over there to work with those institutions.
yeah.
If you don't work with those institutions, your they can't give you credit for your internship because, mind you, it's a course that you're doing. They are going to grade you, and then at the end of the day, they are going to grade you. So if not, it's not in line with the course structure. Forget it. They are not going to give you any credit for that. So engage your program coordinator, and then some schools also have internship slots within the school. So summertime you can work with the school, and and also the city that you're going to school inside. Some companies only prefer students from the university in that city. So they give slots to the university. So I think there's a site that you can. There are various sites you can set for
Mm,
internship and apply them in after the fall semester. Apply them so that you can get a good summer internship programs to work with. And then some of the internship um, they are paid. It's few that they are not going to pay you, but some mostly are paid, and then you're going to get some credits and then money as well. That is where that's how most of us get money to buy a car. Apart from doing the other stuff, that's where most students get money to buy a car, because if you are working for an institution and they're giving you, let's say, 19 or $20 per hour as an intern, and you are doing 8 hours a week, a day, sorry, 8 hours a day, multiply that one 8 times
so 40
eight-
hours a week.
40 hours a week. by let's say 20, and then see the money that you're going to get within a week. So that's
Eight
how most
hundred
of us get
dollars.
money to buy the car. So
Mm,
kindly talk to your program coordinators about it. Search the school if they have internship slots for summer, and then also search online to get summer jobs within the city that you are schooling. That's what I'm going to say about internship.
mm,
For work, I'm not done in school, so when it
yeah.
comes to work, I can't talk about it.
Mm. So your school has given you CPT, right? When you are doing internship, it means you get
Yeah, yeah,
CPT,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. So
What?
I'm even going to school. I'm currently at home, but I'm going back to school tomorrow to start the paperwork with my CPT. So I'm supposed to go and take employment letter from the graduate school. Since I'm working with a graduate school, I'm going to
Mm,
take letter from them, and I'll take it to the ISO office, and everything will be done for me.
mm. Okay, so which means you are doing 40 hours this summer, and then you are taking classes as well. Is that what you mean?
So this for I'm supposed to do, because I'm in school, I'm supposed to do 20 hours a week, and
Mm,
then plus my GA, which is also 20 hours. So it's going to be like 40 hours a week.
mm,
But I'm going to talk to the graduate school so that when I vacate in the Christmas time, I will be working. So I'll be working during the Christmas time. I have to do 300 hours for my internship. I have to do 300 hours for my internship. So I'm going to spread it out. I don't want to go too much stress.
mm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, but what about this summer? This summer you are not doing anything. Is that
So
what
this
it means?
summer, this summer I've been home, and then I've been helping my sister. She owns some business around, so I'll be helping her with that one too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, about the internship stuff, schools tend to have something like career websites as well that you can check
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
see if there are some opportunities. Schools tend to have like resume reviews or something. So my school, these are things for my schools, right? Other schools may have more than that or may have something similar or less, or it depends. So then they can also offer you mock interviews. So if let's say you have an interview coming up, you can go to the career services or something center, and then there somebody will ask you questions, job interview questions based on the job you
Yeah.
apply for, and then they can get the feedback and give you the feedback and all that. Then also they can help you with your LinkedIn profile. They can go through all of that. They may also have like a closet where you can actually get professional attire for your online interview, or if you are going in person, they can give you something that you can, I think you rent also. These things are there. I have not taken advantage of any of these things, you know.
Same here.
Don't
Me
be
too. I've
like
not I've
me.
not taken advantage of those things too.
Yeah, these things are there. Some of us don't be like us. Okay, be serious with everything, because we don't know what the kind of life we are living. We don't know what we are doing with our lives. So don't be like us. But they will give you what is there so that you can, do better things, right? So those are some of the things. And Ben, I don't know. Ben looks like he's busy. He could have talked about the conferences, getting money, applying for those monies for conferences. Because he has been going for conferences, and his departments, they make monies available for some of these things. For me, my departments, they don't give those things, but then the school itself, they have monies for conferences and stuff like that. I just, yeah,
Eh,
if it's the distance is a bit longer, then they will give you money for you to get there. But if it's like an hour, like Chicago, the conference I went was in Chicago, so it was like it's just near. So I didn't apply for anything, but I don't think they would have given me because it's probably too close to us. So it's just like an hour. So those opportunities are all there that international students can always take advantage of. Were you going to say something?
Yeah. So
Mm,
when you are schooling in Tennessee, and we're reading public administration, the city councils have a group, like an association. If your school is a member to that association, and then automatically the students becomes a member of those association as well. They
mm,
offer you $2,000 per I think per year for their conference. So if you becoming, no, they will give you $2,000 as a scholarship to reduce your tuition, and then when it's time for their conference to, because you took their money, so automatically you have to show up. So they will give you some money to come for the conference as well, where you sleep, where you eat, and then the money to take flight to the conference will be
Yeah.
catered by those associations.
That's nice. That's nice. Yeah. There are a few other things too that I want to mention. The international office, they tend to have workshops, maybe weekly or monthly or something, depending on your school. So these workshops, they are going to talk about immigration issues, what you should know about current immigration trends, and how you should approach certain things. If you have any question, then you get to ask your question. So schools tend to have these things there. So if you, and also whenever you need question, you need answers to immigration questions, you can always reach out to the international office. They are going to help you out. When it comes to immigration issues, what I can tell international students is that try not to be out of status. You always want to be in status, because once you are out of status, the only option is for you to leave the country and then come in again. That is the only way you can, restore it. So you don't want to be out of status no matter what. So always you have to make sure, if you have to take a class, you want to take a class. Or like if you want to switching programs, or changing like doing another master's or PhD, whatever it is a common thing when it comes to international students, like doing another master's. So personally, when I came, my program was a 1 year program, and I didn't know how I was going to take the next step. So I had to do another master's in IT. So as an international student, these are possibilities. If your program is a 2 year program, then you have time to think about the next step. But if not, you can think about changing programs, um, going to another school, another level. If you are doing masters, you can go to masters. If you are doing if you are doing masters, you can go to PhD. If you are doing bachelor's degree, you can go to masters. If you are doing economics, you can do IT or sociology, whatever it is. You can also go on OPT. OPT will give you some job experience, and while you are doing OPT, obviously they are going to pay you. While you are doing OPT, you can start applying to schools to either do another master's or PhD. But the thing is that with the OPT, once you finish with masters and then you do OPT, and then you go to school again to do another master's, you cannot get the OPT again. You get it once for every level. So bachelor's degree, there is one OPT, master's one OPT, PhD one OPT. So they have OPT at every level. And depending on your program, you can get STEM OPT, which gives you 3 years. So the 1 year OPT will end, and then they can extend it for you so that you can do 3 years OPT. Within that period, if you find an employer who decides to sponsor you, they can sponsor you for H1B visa. Then you can continue working for them. You can then apply for you can then be entered into a lottery for the green card and all of that. So those are some options that you can keep in mind. The other things that I want to tell you is that schools have a lot of resources. I already give you an example of the legal services. So the legal services, if you have issues with with your roommates, with anything that has to do with legal services, this organization is there, and they can help you provide legal services to you. Schools have more like a recreation, which is the gym, the swimming pool, all these things. You can use them for free. If you have a guest, the guest can pay some small money or so, and then they can also have access to these things. They depend on the school. I also told you about a closet where you can actually get access to like free and gently used clothing. So yeah, whether it's winter clothes, whether even shoes and all of that, you can get them slightly used ones, and in a way they can help you. Also, some schools may have like writing center, which if you are writing an essay, if you are doing your thesis, whatever it is, where you need help with writing, these people, they are there. Some of my courses were required to actually book appointment with these people for them to go through our stuff, right? So these are there. They are free services that the school provides. So all these things are there to help you. Schools also have disability resource centers. So disability resource centers, if you come to the US and then you have some form of disability, these centers are there to help you, give you all the information you need to maximize your time in the school, like all the resources that are available to you. Then schools may also have something like childcare resources or something. So if you have a baby, that kind of thing, if you're a mother, you come with children, they can provide you with information and other resources that you can take advantage of. Then there is also parking. So when I came to my school, I was always paying for parking. I was paying I was paying yearly. I always do yearly stuff. So I was paying what they call annual pass. I was paying that, and I was paying $120 to park on campus every day. But then last fall, I decided to stop that just because my apartment is about 10 minutes from campus. So I will always drive to campus, just like not even 10 minutes drive, because when you add the traffic, and then it's about 10 minutes drive. But it's if you drive, it's just about 7 minutes, I think. Then I will just walk 2 minutes into the building, which, so now, because I don't go out a lot, so what I do now is, there is another parking which is very close as well. But then that one, when I park, I walk 7 minutes. So I don't pay the annual pass again. Now I drive the 2 minutes drive, because I don't drive my car at all. So I just drive 2 minutes, and then I walk 7 minutes. That was because it was in fall. Going forward, like getting into, so what I mean is, um I started this last fall. So I was doing that, but then after winter, I realized that, oh, actually, yeah, I should probably not even drive at all. I should just walk. If I walk, that should be maybe 15 minutes or so, because I think walking is very important for some of us. I even have an app, which is more like every before I sleep, I have to, before 12, I go into the app is more like, the reason I downloaded the app is because of Serena Williams. She kind of endorses the app, so it's more like a walking app. So you walk, and then you get points and stuff like that. It would take a long time to get something out of that, but then in a way, it motivates me to walk. Right? I don't anticipate getting anything from that app, but it reminds me, because I don't walk a lot. Sometimes it's like 1,000 steps, which is not enough. But then the app forces me to take walks. Recently, my friend and her husband, they went somewhere, and so they needed me to water the plant for them, and so then I will walk, which is it takes me, I don't know, maybe like 1 hour back, to and fro, like about an hour of walking. I never did that for a long time. Since I was in the US, I never did that. So yeah, now uh I take care of myself in a way, like physically, mentally, like all this I do. So every little opportunity I get to walk, I walk. My point is, parking can be free for you, depend on where you park, and then depend on where you park, you may have to pay. So all these things are there. If there is an event, then they might not allow you to park on campus. But if there is no event, you can park. Some In the US, there are some places, if you want to park, you are going to pay some money, for maybe an hour of parking or 2 hours of parking. And also in the big cities, that's how it works. So these are things for you. I mean, before you buy a car, you know all these things. So yeah. um I would have wanted to talk about dating, but most of us, we are not. I don't know, we are not dating, right? So that's why I just didn't want to, so, and we also don't have time. We've done more than 3 hours. But I feel like at this point, we've actually gotten into everything that I wanted us to talk about. I would like to find out from you guys. Now, I only see Ben and Joseph. If you guys can tell me about any mistake that you made that you think international students should avoid, that you wish you knew so that you wouldn't have made that mistake. Is there something that you want to pass to these people?
When it comes to mistake,
Yeah.
uh, don't buy things you don't need.
Okay.
Yeah. So back home in Ghana, I used to shop around with my dad a lot, and then when you go to the shop, he will like, oh, anything that you take and you really want it, even if it's a jeans and it's like 1K and you really want it, he will pay it. Because I
So
wasn't
that
the one paying for it. I'm not a DB
yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
not I wasn't the one paying for it. I usually buy anything things that I don't even wear or I won't even use
Yeah.
it. So when I got in here, I had that practice. I would just go into Ross and then buy, let's say, jacket, and then
Mm,
I bought a jacket like for $40 or so, and I won it like once. I don't want to wear it again.
mm,
So it got to a point. After my second sem after no in during my second semester, I was a bit careful with buying things I don't need. So Don't be like me. Buy things you need. Don't go in and say that, oh, this is nice. I would love to put it on, and then you pay, let's say, 10 or 11 or 20 or $40 or even $100 for it, and then it will become like a waste in your closet. So don't be like that. And then the advice I'll give you to you is that since you are coming with a GA, now getting funding in the US is very difficult. Please don't come and disgrace us. Every school that you go, there's a Ghanaian student, there's a Ghanaian community over there. Even if there's none, create one over there for yourself. Because the more that you keep your academic solid, it gives the department the notion to give the motivation to give any other person coming from Ghana scholarship. If you don't study hard, they wouldn't even have the motive to, let's say, take another Ghanaian student. So kindly study well so that at the end of the day you will have better life after graduating, because in the US too they take grades when it comes to work and other stuff. And
Yeah.
then if you want to do PhD, your academics counts a lot. And then if you want to go to law school or medical school, after whatever course you're doing, your grades is going to be very good for you when you're applying to medical school, law school, or PhD. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Let me quickly get into the comments section and then try to answer some questions. Mary Ajiman from Ghana, Philadelphia. I don't see your questions. Some of the questions YouTube will hide them. Ola Sunkami from Lagos, Nigeria. Mama Sly from Ghana. At some point, Mama Sly was number one in terms of the fans like engagement. Rita Kunedu from Ghana. Hi, Rita. Kra Joseph, yeah, very familiar with him. At some point, Kra was also number one. Kehinde was number one at some point. Kehinde from Nigeria. Kweku says, please, will the live be saved on YouTube? Yes, you can come back and watch it later on. Lovia says, okay, Lovia from Ghana. The Global Freedom from Nigeria. Chinesa Okore from Nigeria. John Johnson from Ghana. Alaba from Nigeria. Nyame Shinasa was number two at some point. Nyame Kofi, Benjamin. Okay, nice to have you. Bible Stories for Kids, number two at some point. So that is Grace from Ghana, a final year accounting student at KNUST. Happy to see you as well. For some reasons, I'm not able to show the messages in there. I used to be able to show it, but for today, I don't know why I'm not able to show it here, but it's fine. Cindy, Nyame Kofi from Bole. Cindy, can you talk on the new visa conditions for Ghana and how it may affect studying moving forward? So with the visa stuff that is going on, the thing is that you only need a visa to enter a country. Once you enter a country, regardless of whether it's single entry or multiple entry, it doesn't matter so long as you don't intend to go back. So as an F1 student, if when you come to when your visa is approved and then they give you, let's say, 1 month to come to the US, when you arrive in the US and then you don't go back, you are fine, because whether you are in the country legally or not depends on your I-20 or your I-94. They are more like the same thing. They are all referring to the same thing. So once you are in status and you've not violated anything, you are still okay. Even if your visa says 1 month, you can be in the US for 5 years, so long as you are always doing something. Doing something means, let's say you finish your current program, 2 years, you finish. Doing something means you have to either be on OPT, either change your status from F1 to, maybe marry, like a permanent resident, or or a citizen, right? So you have to go through the process, or you go to another school to do another program. So you have to always be doing something. Or in the same school, you can do PhD if you were doing master's or bachelor's degree. You can move. So long as you are either a student or you are working legally, your visa doesn't matter. Your visa is only a problem when you leave the country. Most of you, I don't know your plans. If when you come, you want to go back immediately and visit family, if that is the case, then you will be concerned by the single entry 3 month visas that are being given to Africa or some citizens of certain countries like Ghana and Nigeria. But if your plan is to just enter the US, all you have to do is work hard, get a visa. Once you get a visa and then you enter the country, that's all. So long as your program is 2 years, 5 years, whatever it is,
Once you enter the country, your I-20 is what is going to keep you in the country legally. Everything else doesn't matter. So don't think about it. For a lot of people, 1 month validity of the visa and 5 years validity of visa, they are the same, because they are going to produce the same outcome, because they don't intend to go back until they are done with everything. Done with everything means maybe doing bachelor's, master's and PhD, or master's and PhD, or PhD, and then OPT, like all these things. So you don't have to think about these things. I know students are worried because when you don't understand something, then it's always going to cause you to lose sleep. But once you understand it, then you know that it's not a problem. So I can tell you that as F1 students, these are not a problem. All you have to do is get your visa. Once you get your visa approved, and then you come to the country, you come into the country. That's all. Make sure you are doing what will keep you in the country, and that is always about the I-20. When you arrive in the country and then something is bothering you, you are confused about something, immigration, whatever, the international student office is likely to organize workshops. Because of everything going on, they tend to organize a lot of workshops, probably monthly. So you want to reach out to your school's international office for these workshops, where they break down everything you need to know as an F1 student. And if you have questions, you can always ask them some of these things. You can also always go to their office. They even encourage international students to go to their office about issues, about concerns, all of these things. So if you have any issue, you can always go to the international office and then let them know what your issues are, and they are going to help you. So, like I've said, get your visa approved and ideally get funding, because if you don't have funding and you come, things are going to be very difficult for you. Some of us, we have full funding, but it's still not easy, because you still have to manage it so well, because there are so many things that we spend money on. Your rent, your, having a car means insurance, car maintenance, oil change, like all these things. And then your food, you can get food from pantry, but you still have to spend money on different things. Your clothing, your shoes. When winter is coming, you are thinking about, winter clothes, blankets, all these things. You are going to spend money on these things. So you have to, and the water we drink, we don't, water is not expensive, but I'm just telling you that all these things are part of the things that if you're in Ghana, people just, in any water, you just drink water from the tap, right? But here, bottled water, well, at least for me, bottled water, like all these things. So you're going to spend money on a lot of things, so that the money that you get from the school is very helpful, can take care of a lot of things. But at the same time, you realize that you have to manage it so well. And if you come without funding, it is not going to be easy. And in this climate, you don't want to do anything off campus. It is dangerous. It is not advisable. So those are some of the things that you want to keep in mind. Get a visa. When you come, life will take care of itself. Even if life doesn't take that, I always say, even if life doesn't take care of itself, at the end of the day, everybody will die one day. So whatever you are chasing, you are going to leave it behind. So why do you stress over these things, right? You can't do anything about it. The immigration staff, they are there. What can you do about them? They've already said this is what they are doing. So what can you do? Nothing. Where you come from has made you, has where you come from means that you have to accept the reality. And then what you can do is work hard, study hard. When you get opportunity, change things, make things better, right? That is what you can do. But whatever another country decides to do, you have nothing, there is nothing you can do about it. If you worry about it, you can't change the story, you can't change, you know the situation going on. Everything, you just have to be in it, and then take things as they come, and you'll be fine. So that's what I can tell you when it comes to this visa, whatever is going on. Okay, so I hope that is clear enough. Also, let me get into, so Rosalind Brimpon, Rosalind from Ghana. You say you are excited for this episode. So Rosalind, I think you commented in on one of my videos about coming for mock interview. So which is like the mock interviews that I do, and I commented on that message, Rosalind, that because I'm familiar with you, I can actually do, private one for you if you don't want the public one where everybody sees you. So I don't know if you responded again, but I don't remember anything like that. So I told you to reach out to us on Telegram, but I don't know if you did that. But so that is something I wanted to tell you. Tete, Tete has been worrying me from the motherland, Ghana. Coco, good to see you. So Coco was number 3 at some point. So Coco is Samira 2 from Ghana. I didn't know Coco is the same as Samira 2. Wow, that's interesting. Tete said, Rhoda sound okay. Daniel says it. Daniel from Ghana. I'm happy to be here for the insightful. Okay, good to have you here. Tempo was number 3 at some point. Some of you were laughing. We're having fun. When you say food, what do you mean? So I think they explained it, later on. Um, Tete says I was enjoying Americana. Regina says, Joe says Regina have Kivo Gary. Me, all I know is Gary. I don't know what is Kivo Gary. I've left Ghana a long time, so when, I don't know Kivo Gary that Regina mentioned. Somebody's also saying it here. The person says I don't really enjoy it. I don't mind sending it to you via UPS. No pressure. Only if you like. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. So Joe is in another place and he wants to give his Gary to Regina because Regina misses it. Frederick, Frederick, Frederick says Ernest more fire. So Ernest more fire for Ernest was saying some big things. So it just says if your port of entry is not an international airport but a local airport, how is the scrutiny like? So we've talked about that. The scrutiny, there are some airports that people want to avoid, but me, I don't really see the need to avoid them because I've used all the airports. I've been to Atlanta. I've been to Atlanta going to see family, and I've been to Atlanta transiting. I've been to some of the another airport is where uh
JFK. Are you talking about JFK or the Detroit one?
Detroit. Is it? I think Detroit also. JFK. I came through JFK when I was coming the first time. I don't really see
I
when I
think the
was.
next one is Detroit. The
Yeah,
one at Detroit.
Detroit. Detroit. Yeah, Detroit is also another airport people want to avoid. But the thing is that if everything is fine, avoiding what? I feel like I don't know, but yeah, maybe some of the things that you bring. If that's why me, I don't bring food stuff. I don't really care about all those things. I'll eat here, or whatever is here, I'll eat. I'll be okay. Yeah. But if you are bringing all those food stuff, then maybe you are concerned about the scrutiny and but yeah. All right. So Rita is Akila. Okay, Rita. When I think when we were talking about books, she was mentioning Akila. You guys, Maggie, these people, Maggie's from Ghana. Some people haven't found in the comment section. Um, so I'll probably have to be going through and see Sandra. Okay, Sandra, good to see you. Hashim from Ghana. Lovia, what do you do if you don't know anyone in the school to help you with accommodation? I think you just reach out to the international office and your department, they will connect you with somebody. And then, yeah, you can also try to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn, you might be able to come across people who might be able to help you. Okay. If you come to me that you need somebody in another school and I know the person, why not? Right. The most important thing is get a visa approved. When you get a visa approved, you get help. Um, Abena said, if you, well, I want to use the exact thing that she said. She said, if you take your life seriously, help is not out of reach, right? So if you do the work, somebody will come and help you. You know what to do next. So just do what is in front of you. Okay. Um, Christabel says, example of gift you can get someone there. You should know what a good gift is, right? Not me to tell you which gift, right? And also I think maybe a gift to a man and a gift to a woman are different gift. They might be different, they might be the same, right? So yeah, you probably will know what, but this one you don't, people don't have to overthink it. Just anything simple to show that you have a good heart, that's all. Just something simple. So it doesn't have to be expensive because at the end of the day, if you convert that money to even dollars, it will not be anything, right? But at least it shows that you are a good person. Hashim says, please can you comment on the recent US? So I think I've talked about the visa policy stuff. Enoch, it's good to have you here. Hashim says life is always about trade-off. You stay indoors and spend much on data bundles, or you hang out and burn fuel and spend much more on transport. Wilfred Yankee, insightful. Okay. MFA from Nungua, Ghana. Chris, nice to have you. MFA says the US stay by plan. Yes, you have to know all the strategies. And in this video, we've provided you with everything you need. Like this is the heads of 7 people put together with all the strategies and everything. Like, I mean, everything you need is here, right? We've given you everything. So make sure you share it with anyone who is coming to the US and wants to get this information. Isaac, your boss said in terms of studies and assignments, when answering questions, do you respond? Do your responses need to match the textbook word for word? here in the US, there are more flexibility. You can just, be yourself. They want you to be yourself. And the professors, they will communicate that to you. They will tell you what they want. So that one, don't worry. When you come, you take care of that one. Hotman says, buy cars from Limbs Market. You can get a quality car from Limbs Marketplace in the US. I'm not familiar with that, but Limbs, my family, I don't even remember. Inwa says, watching from Accra, how long did it take for you guys to land a part-time or on-campus job? So the first thing is you have to get a social security thing. If you're on-campus job, you don't need social security. I think you just have to go through an orientation. Once you are done with orientation, you know what to do. They will you can apply for it or something. It's very straightforward. That's why you have to be in touch with the students in the school, because they can give you all the information, or even the international office, they can tell you how to quickly start working, on campus. So does it mean international driver's license from Ghana is not sufficient to allow in the US? So I think if I remember correctly, license from Ghana, you can use it to drive for 1 year or so. I don't remember. Then you have to get a US. I don't recommend it, because I mean, what's the point? If you can get a driver's license in Ghana, it means you know how to drive. So when you come, probably wanna easily get the 1 year. Joe's message, I don't see it. Or anyone says, how can I join the WhatsApp chat? So WhatsApp group, you can check the link in the description of this video. There's one link that will lead you to all the links, Telegram and all of that. Felix watching from Germany says, since some schools don't allow CPT, how can international students find jobs off campus if they can't get on campus jobs? So if your school doesn't allow CPT, then your best option is summer. Summer you can get internship, but it's also difficult. Some schools, they have day one CPT, so that one, just not many schools have the day one CPT, just few schools. You can search for those schools, and then if CPT is what matters to you, you can apply to those schools. Okay. Joe says it's never sufficient to drive in the States. You either get a new one or convert it. Yeah, it's just the driving international. I don't really, but many years ago, people used to say you drive for 1 year and then you can get a new one, but I don't know. That was a long time ago. Okay, so Rosalind, so the new visa rules will not discourage professors from giving GS. No, it will not discourage professors from giving GS. These professors, they still want you to come. So yeah, they will still always have international students coming around. Lovia says, is the I-94 given after you enter the country? The I-94 is once you go on the I-94 website, you can easily print it out before you even come. I think you can easily print out. These days, they don't even need it. They need just your I-20 and your passport. That's all. They can easily use that to get your I-94 information and stuff like that. So these are not things to worry about. Okay. Ashim, yeah, you're welcome. Rosalind Shai, please, I'm actually preparing for fall 2026. I just wanted to save my spot earlier. Okay, we'll definitely, okay, right, okay, Rosalind. Mohammed says, Joseph, what's the average cost of accommodation in Johnson City in Tennessee? So Joseph, you have a question. What's the average cost? I don't know if Joseph is here. Oh, Joseph is not even here. I was checking YouTube, I wasn't checking, yeah. But you guys, thanks so much for making the time, because that's such a long time. Some Atia says, Michelle, we kindly find time to organize a webinar on SOP writing. So that's something that it's in my mind. We'll get there. Christabel Sapoma says, thanks so much for this. For close to 4 hours, this must be tiring. God bless you. Okay, so guys, I really appreciate all of you too, because you guys also made a time. I mean, I really appreciate it. And my guests, they are not here for me to thank them. So, but I really appreciate their time, because man, in the US, I always say the opportunity cost of 1 hour here in the US is a lot more compared to the same thing in Ghana or in other places, because we don't have time at all. We have so many things that we have to take care of. So for people to be able to make the time to join, spend hours here, man, that's something I really appreciate. So all of you, thanks so much for making the time, for your comments, for sharing everything. So, and whatever I need to leave in the description of this video, you would have to check maybe tomorrow. So like links to the credit card, links to the budget app, like all these things that we talked about. I don't even remember all the things, so I may have to watch the video again, and then I'll give you all the links. So I really appreciate all of you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll do another live session, and inviting people like this to talk about something else. But like I said, on the shy pod, it is about talking to other people, and it is not going to be frequent live session. Once in a while we'll do it, maybe once in a month. But then on the Shy Guys, we'll still be doing our live sessions every week. So if you have any question, you can always come to the Shy Guys channel and ask your question. And tomorrow we have a mock interview session on the Shy Guys channel, and I think I'm interviewing 4 people or so. So I'll catch you there, and take care of yourselves. And Nikia, nice to see you. So Hashim, all of you. Joe has ended the live session as the number 1, so that's good. So guys, take care of yourselves. And Ben joined and went to sleep. So, but thanks all of you. Thanks so much. I think I'm going to end it here. And those of you going for your visa interviews, I hope you are approved. Bye bye.